Rebels. You're listening to Rebels Radio, the online home of Slough Town match commentaries, brought to you by the...
Good evening and welcome to Holloways Park for tonight's Evo Stick Premier Southern League match. This is Rebels Radio. If you are first-time listeners to Rebels Radio, welcome along. We're sponsored by MyFootballClub, and apparently they've agreed a partnership today with the Slough Town Supporters Trust. So they're the guys that pay, not our wages, unfortunately, because as John will always tell you, it's non-league commentary for non-league football. But we will try and give you as much info and describe as much of the game to you as we possibly can. I'll run through the two teams with you, starting with our visitors, Corby Town, who very much like Siren Sister are up there with something to play for. So top of the league, and also Poole are playing tonight. So what we'll do is we'll try and keep you updated if we can with any updates from that game as well. So Corby Town will be playing in an all-white kit, and in goal for them today they have Paul Walker. 2 is Kalern Thomas. 3 is Stefan Morley. 4 is Jamie Anton. 5 is Herve Pepe Ngoma. 6 is Ben Milnes. 7 is, I presume it's Craig and not Greg. Greg? I've got Greg on here. Grey Mills, is it? Grey Mills. It says Greg Mills on our team sheet, which is terrible. 8 and captain for the Whites tonight is Cleveland Taylor. 9, Elliot Chamberlain. 10, Claudio Hoban. 11 is Wilson Carvalho. And the subs for Corby, Connor Kennedy wears 12. 14 is Shane Byrne. 15, Bradley Gascoigne. 16, Tommy Wrights. And 17 is sub-goalkeeper Sam Donkin. And the Steelmen have brought a fair few fans down with them today, as obviously near the top of the table, clashes coming into that final part of the season. So it's good to have them, and we wish them all a safe journey home as well. For the Rebels today, Luke Williams will be wearing 1. Sean Fraser is 2. Ryan Parsons is 3. 4 is Guy Hollis. 5, Rhys York. 6 is Adam Martin. 7 is Jake Parsons. 8 and captain is the only change from Saturday, Ben Edwards in for Jamie McClurg. 9 is Scott Harris. Ed Smith 10 and Chris Henry wears 11. And 4 subs for the Rebels tonight we have Tom Moran 12, 14 George Short, 15 Dan Reed, and 16 is Gurkan Gockman. And John may come and decide to join us in a minute if we're lucky.
Hello. Good evening. How is everybody? Welcome along. As Adrian says, we are at Holloways Park in Buckinghamshire. It is a fresh evening. The pitch is in great condition. The floodlights are on the grounds.
I wouldn't say nicely. Great condition. It's better than it has been.
It's in decent condition. There's a reasonable layer of grass on it. It's going to be a bit bouncy, a bit bobbly. There's a few Slough fans away to our right-hand side, just gathering just behind the goal to our right, which is affectionately known as the shed end. There is a mini shed at the opposite end, which is kind of the Beaconsfield M40 services at this location, which we ground share with Beaconsfield Cyclob, although hopefully only for another potential season or so before Slough finally come home. Yeah,
good news that came through during the week about the government not opposing to any of the plans. So it's still got a little way to go yet. So don't start counting your chickens just yet, but it's positive signs.
We're just waiting for the two teams to come out of the tunnel to our right-hand side. We are located on the far side of the pitch from the dugouts, just slightly in the near end, which Slough usually defend in the first half. The two teams, I can see them just gathering in the tunnel to the right-hand side. The referees and his team, Paul Forrester, assisted by Daniel Simpson and Andrew Hickman, seem to arrive a little bit late today, but I think everything is in order. We're just waiting for the two teams to come out. The Slough management team are out on the pitch in the dugout already. They're rolling some of the match balls that are rather egg-shaped. Those are the ones that we've been provided with. So it'll be interesting to see who, as much.
Are you sure it's just not the level of their intelligence, and that's the kind of games they play?
They're just trying to almost play bowls. We can see the cameraman on the far side line up. So there will be video available of this on YouTube at some stage. And if you are a MyFC's My Football Club member, you will be able to see extended highlights. So these are the Steelmen trying to stay top of the league with Poole in action this evening away at Arlesey. That will be a key comeback game for them if they are looking to push Corby towards this playoff race. Earlier in the season when these two teams met, it was Slough, the Rebels, who came out on top in a hard-fought game where both sides had chances, and Slough came out on top 2-1 in what was a very, very entertaining game at the Rockingham Road in a lovely stadium up there.
Yeah, great stadium down there. We were treated very well as well, and like I said, it was a very good game. I don't think that Corby expected Slough to be as good as they were. We do seem to sometimes save ourselves for the bigger teams. We put in a better performance, as we did on Saturday.
Yeah, well, I think as Tommy Wright, the Corby, the Steelmen manager, was saying, Slough do tend to have a little bit of mixed fortune. I think if you're a Rebels fan, he's probably summed it up quite accurately for this season. There's been some great games like beating Weymouth here at Holloways 3-0, but then other really poor games, i.e. Redditch when we got absolutely spanked 7-1. It's been a very, very mixed season, I would say.
It is, but I think we kind of like highlighted it, that Slough maybe haven't had a team of 11 that have played a large run of games. There's always been a change over in the centre midfield or the centre of defence, which is never good for the stability of any team. But it's our first season up at this level, and when you see the likes of Corby and the stadium they've got and the fans that they're getting through the gate, especially on a Wednesday night for the midweek matches, it's something that maybe at the moment the Rebels can't see, but it's something for the future that maybe Corby are the kind of town that Slough should be trying to be like in footballing terms.
Yeah, obviously Corby, some of their key team news for this evening, they've made a couple of changes from the team that won very buoyantly away at Redditch. One of the key elements is they've lost out with Spencer Weir-Daly, who's obviously on international duty. It's not very often you can say that at this sort of non-league level.
That's where you're wrong. A few years ago, Slough had the same problem with some of their players playing for Anguilla. There's a large, I don't know if it's Anguillan community in Slough, and a couple of our players and some local players from some other teams all went over and played, and I think they played Grenada was one of the teams that they played. I don't think they did successfully well, but there was quite a few non-league players gone over to the Montserrat team I saw in the non-league paper this week, so we wish them well. I doubt if they're listening, but if you are, we will hopefully report on a Rebels victory. I can't say that, can I?
No, you can't say that in real truth. Obviously, the Steelmen have had one key injury this season. They've had a few, but obviously their skipper and talisman Malone unfortunately broke his leg earlier in the season, and I think everyone wishes him well. He's on the speed to recovery. I know he's very heavily involved and still behind the team. Obviously, Poole were the visitors a week ago in that first leg of the Reddenshaw Cup final, and it was a 1-1 draw. So again, not only these teams battling in the league, but they're also the top two are battling in that cup for the first silverware of the season.
Yes, indeed, and I think it's nice to have a good cup run. It keeps your league form buoyant. I'm not a believer in that you don't put out your strongest team in the cup. I think if you've got a team that are winning games, whether it's in the league or the cup, it gives you a confidence, and I think Slough maybe have lacked that maybe the last 7 or 8 games apart from Saturday, where they seem to be quite buoyant, and played with a different kind of style, and got the rewards for it.
And both teams are now just making their way out slowly onto the pitch in front of us, away to our right-hand side. We can see that the Slough are wearing their familiar home colours of amber shirts, navy shorts and navy socks. The Steelmen wearing a kind of combination of their home and away kits, but they are wearing all white today. No black shorts this evening.
They've got a black stripe running through the front of their shirt.
Yeah, they have a black stripe. So it's almost like a mix between their home kit and part of their away kit, because I presume that their other away kit, which is kind of a reddish colour that perhaps they thought may clash. I'm not sure why, but the white is very vivid and standing out, and it looks like Slough are lining up as normal in the right hand half as we see it, and so they are asking Corby to go down in the left hand half as we look at it.
We shall see, won't we? And a couple of bits of information for most Rebels fans. I don't think Corby fans will be too interested in this, but Saturday we're away to Hitchin, which is a lovely ground, and they've had some good ground news this week, saying that they've got another 25-year lease at their ground, and I believe it's ladies will be going in for free that day. So John, put your makeup on and your wig, and you'll be sorted.
Are you dressing up as a lady? Is that what we've been told?
No, not on a Saturday.
Okay, I was just slightly concerned there for a moment. We are running slightly behind schedule. I'm not sure what Paul Forrester, the referee, is really looking at doing, but we're about 3 or 4 minutes behind schedule. So don't worry, you haven't missed any action if you're just joining us late. Adrian, just take you through the teams once again.
Yep. So for the visitors, Corby Town, Paul Walker 1, 2, Calern Thomas, 3, Stefan Morley, 4 is Jamie Anton, 5, Herve Pepe and Goma, 6 is Ben Milnes, 7 I think is Gray Mills, 8 and captain Cleveland Taylor, 9 Elliot Chamberlain, 10 is Claudiu Hoban, 11 Wilson Carvalho, and the subs for The Steelmen 12, Connor Kennedy, 14, Chamberlain, 15, Bradley Gascoigne, 16, Tommy Wright, and 17 is sub-goalkeeper Sam Donkin.
Who came on? He came on Saturday, did for the young keeper, didn't he? When Walker was sent off against Redditch in that game, which Corby really, that's the kind of sight of a team that's right up at the top and champions. They go down to 10 men, a very tough ground, which is Redditch, and they still come away with a victory. And it was that man Spence Weir-Daly who did that. We are staying as we are. It looks like, Ade.
Yep, and for the Rebels is Luke Williams 1, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 Ryan Parsons, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 Rhys York, 6 Adam Martin, 7 Jake Parsons, 8 Captain Ben Edwards, 9 is Scott Harris, 10 Ed Smith, 11 Chris Henry, and subs for the Rebels Tom Moran 12, 14 George Short, 15 is Dan Reed, who's up to make it here without his car breaking down, and 16 is Gherkin Gockman.
Yes.
And we're just waiting for the ball's on the spot. We're just waiting for some fans to make their way behind the mini shed, or as your new shed, whichever you like to call it.
And a good few Steelmen have made their way here as we're underway immediately. Corby shooting from left to right, slightly up the hill in this first half towards the shed end. And the ball's immediately out of play in between the two far dugouts, just below the camera gantry on the far side. It's a cool, crisp evening here, isn't it? It's dry, there's no real wind in the air. As Corby are immediately putting Slough under a little bit of pressure here, but the ball's hooked away long and high by Guy Hollis. It's repelled back, and Corby looking to make some early indents as Slough have been on a poor run of form recently, Adrian.
Yep, apart from Saturday, when they played really well, took some chances, also conceded some goals. But it's just like Corby are playing almost like a 4-2-4.
Yes, yeah, it's very similar to the Cirencester formation where there's two kind of almost out-and-out strikers, and then I think the two wingers will almost like cheat a little bit.
They're pushing up, literally.
Yeah,
playing as a 4 at the moment, and obviously when they haven't got the ball, I presume they drop back and sit into.
We've played
midfield.
less than a minute, and the referee, Mr. Poole Forrester, is less than impressed by the ball. He's getting rid of that one. He doesn't like that one at all. I'm sure it'll just go back in the ball bag and may reappear at some stage. But
no, they've hidden it.
Corby have a throw down the left hand side. There's two players collide and go to ground, but the ball's in the far left-hand corner, battling away for its Chamberlain in that corner, hooks it back. Corby looking to start with a flourish. They're hooking the ball deep into the box, but it's over everybody, away from Carvalho. But it falls at the edge of the box, hit into it by Milnes. It's still not clear from Slough. Corby exerting some pressure here, but Henry trying to shut down the pressure. A little bit of dancing going on in the box by Taylor, who's captain in the side tonight. Then Henry gets buffeted to the ball. The locals around here don't like it. It was just a rather, well,
they're not locals. They seem to be Corby fans, but Carvalho just had a word there by the referee. He just stopped Henry in his tracks, and I think further on down the pitch that might have been a yellow card. But
I think perhaps if it was 10-15 minutes later. But if you're joining us for the first time, welcome along. It's very much with volunteers. This is a volunteer station. We hope you enjoy it. Please interact with us. If you can tweet us at MyFC Rebels Radio. It's a long kick by Williams. It's testing the Corby defence, who hooked that ball long and high, and it's going to be Chamberlain underneath it, battling against Hollis. Hollis comes out with that one on top and driving over the halfway line. Just gets a little bit of a shove in his back, and Hoban's hurt himself slightly.
Yeah, he got caught with his as Guy Hollis ran past and got through, his foot came back and just caught Hoban on the knee. But he's just feeling it. But he's up. He's not needing a trainer, so that'll be good. It's a free kick to the Rebels, just by the centre circle, slightly inside the Corby half. It'll be taken by Ryan Parsons.
And we played less than 3 minutes here. We started slightly late. Ryan Parsons putting the ball directly into the box at the feet of Harris, but it's well dealt with by Ngoma and Anton between them, who hooked the ball clear. And once again, Chamberlain on the halfway line tries to flick the ball out left, but Sean Fraser's hitting the ball high and direct, and up there, staying up and cheating is Adam Martin. It's all a little bit frantic in these first 2 or 3 minutes.
Chris Henry's getting the ball. Oh, he's offside.
Chris Henry's offside. He was well covered there by Thomas down this left-hand side, and we've got a very serious-looking steward to our right-hand side in front of us, haven't we?
He's fine.
He looks angry. There's nothing. He's not near anyone. Don't worry. There isn't any trouble or any problems like that. But he's just looking slightly aghast. I think what we're trying to do today, Adrian, is I might try and commentate for the first little bit till like halfway through the first half. You'll have to remind me, and then we'll swap, and then so we can have a bit of breath.
Am I not allowed to speak?
No, you can speak, but just act in that expert.
Banished to the corner. Nobody puts baby in the corner.
Okay, let's not upset anybody, and let's not scare any of these Corby fans, these nice people from the Midlands who are talking to us.
How do people contact us? I forgot you said.
At MyFC Rebels Radio. There's someone listening in York who I believe is a Rebels fans, as Adam Martin fires a long ball down the channel, down the right-hand side for Slough. Easy work there for Pepe and Ngoma to just usher that one out, and the game yet to settle. We're coming up to the 4-minute mark. It remains goalless. Corby perhaps looking slightly more energetic in the first 30 seconds or so. A fairly sparse crowd, I would say, perhaps no more than 200 to 300. And again, Corby just asking a few questions of the Slough defence. They've passed the ball all the way back down to Williams, to our right-hand side. Clears the ball up to the halfway line. Flicked on by Adam Martin. And then a little bit of a mistake there, possibly from Ngoma, who tried to control the ball, had a heavy touch and shinned it out on the far side for a Slough throw. But you were happy with the Rebels' performance on Saturday, Ade?
Oh, it was great. We actually managed to score not just one goal but 5 goals, and it's been so long I'd forgotten what it was like.
It was
almost forgot to celebrate.
Yeah, no, it was a very interesting afternoon with plenty of chances on both sides. Ball's still not yet back in play. We've got Guy Hollis who's going to take a long throw, try and dart it into the area, lean against the wall on the far side. He runs up, flicks the ball in, and it's fired in towards the penalty spot, flicked on by Reece York, but left of Walker's post.
It's gone out the ground,
and it's bounced out the ground past the small shed end. And
there's actually some Slough fans in there singing tonight.
Well, they're probably trying to huddle to keep warm. It is rather a fresh evening this evening.
That's right. They've got pork baps in the burger van today.
Unsurprisingly, Aussie are tweeting that Poole are looking sharper early on in that game there. Katie Lynch is asking us, how do you know who's listening? Well, we don't really. We just sit in a box and talk to each other, don't we?
Yeah, just hope that someone's actually tuned in.
Otherwise, we're quite we entertain each other and have a little bit of.
Pardon, not. Don't broadcast that part.
Okay, yeah, no, sorry, that's a half-time thing. As Slough are judged to a foul there, Reece York just judged to a foul, 10 yards inside the Slough half, which they're defending, and an early ball play through. And the referee's assistant on the near side keeps his flag down. There's quite a lot of questions going on as to whether that was the right decision, but it was Mills on that far left-hand side who found himself in a bit of space.
A mile offside from where we were. We're not far from being level with it, but the linesman kept his flag down.
And ball drilled into the Slough box, headed away by Slough, who are just struggling to clear the lines. Adam Martin having a good old battle in the middle of midfield, gets it under control, seemingly got foul, but nothing doing with Paul Forrester. Slough still yet to clear the danger. Corby attacking towards the box and flicks the ball through to towards Chamberlain. It's over here.
I think Holden's claiming that he was fouled there. He got the ball and went past one player. He's overhit it, but he thinks he's got caught. He's asking the referee if it's a penalty, but no one else seemed to shout with it. So.
No, and so we've played nearly 7 minutes here. One of the quickest Slough fans is just making his way up to the end behind Slough defenders. Williams clears the ball outright, looking for Harris, but it's headed away and out. It's still battling. The ball's spending a lot of time in the air during these first 5 minutes, Ade.
Yep, it is indeed, and it looks like Corby are trying to get the ball over the top of the Slough defence. And
Reece York repelled a very aerial ball there with an even more aerial ball. It's not one for the purists, this first 10 minutes or so. So welcome along wherever you may be. Tell us what you're doing and how warm you are, because we are not in a warm situation.
Lovely flick on by Ed Smith and Scott Harris.
Ed Smith flicked out to Scott Harris, flicks it out to Chris Henry on the left-hand side, attacking towards the edge of the Corby box, darting in and out. He's skinned Thomas, and he's whipped a ball in, and it's crossed deep, headed away by Ngoma. Second ball cleared there by Mills in the middle of the park. Corby just struggling to get this clear a little bit, but that was an excellent crossing. Ryan Parsons has picked the ball up, tries to clip a diagonal ball into the box. Walker comes out, averts the pressure, but that was good play down from recent Kingstonian signing to Slough.
Carvalho's got to be quite careful there, because Chris Henry went past him, and Chris Henry is only a small guy. He's 5'2", 5'3", you'd say, but he just got a slight tug as he went past. And
sorry, excuse me, what did you say?
Of his shirt.
As Chris Henry once again pulls through the ball, and Thomas is chomping at his feet, and he's done a nice little turn to get round Thomas, but Thomas has recovered well, won the ball, and Corby will now look to attack down the right side, but a poor touch there, unfortunately, by
getting it straight in with Ryan Parsons.
And Ryan Parsons flicking a ball forward in the direction of Henry. Once again, Henry is offside. He just needs to keep an eye on that. But Carvalho showing perhaps why he hasn't quite been in the starting 11 recently. He's not quite perhaps match sharp as yet, but I'm sure that will come over time, and he may come back to haunt Slough. But we have played 8 minutes. It remains goalless. No real clear chances. Game yet to settle. It's spending a lot of time on this quite firm bouncy pitch. It's spending quite a lot of time in the air. It's almost like a bit of a boxing match. They're just kind of sounding each other out a little bit, aren't they?
There's no the game hasn't settled down yet. Neither team's stamping their authority on the game, and something will happen in a bit that will.
But this is a perfect picture. I wish I could take a picture right now. I probably can at some point, Ade. I might get you to commentate. But it just shows the formation that Corby are playing. And once again, forward goes Chamberlain. Just Guy Hollis just levers him off as the bouncing ball went through towards Williams. He collected it on the edge of the box quite full. But it was 2 banks of 4 with a 2 in the middle. So Corby definitely come here with clear intent. They're playing a direct 4-2-4 formation with the holding players in the middle of the park I believe it's Milnes in there and Taylor.
Oh, lovely ball from
through to Ed Smith. Ed Smith clear down the right side, advancing into the box. He chips across. Harris follows inches wide of the left-hand post.
That was almost Juan Mata-like against Man United, where he's hit it. It's slightly behind him. He's hit it on the volley. He's falling backwards, and it's literally about 2 or 3 inches wide. But a lovely ball there by Ben Edwards, and I just think that the way that that Slough are playing, maybe the 4-2-4 that Corby are lining up with is going to leave a bit of space on the wide sides, and Slough with
on the wide side
with Henry on the left and Jake Parsons on the right may just get a bit of joy from that gap that they're getting down that side.
Yeah, but Slough had a really good chance there, and Adrian described it perfectly there as it was almost like if you saw the Juan Mata goal for Liverpool on
Man United.
Against Liverpool for Manchester United on Sunday. It was almost the reverse of that. A ball was just chipped in slightly behind Scott Harris, who on the left-hand edge of the box kind of hooked behind him with his right foot volley, and it just went inches past the left-hand post of Walker with him beaten, and Slough will be slightly disappointed that they didn't make more of that. And against a top team like Corby, who are top of the league and pushing for automatic promotion, they're going to challenge as the ball again hits in. And Ed Smith from the edge of the box, a long throw in, headed off flicked on by
Rhys York,
and then a volley from the left-hand edge of the box beat Walker to his right-hand side, and Slough lead in the 11th minute. It is Ed Smith with the goal, and Corby are caught napping slightly there.
Well, what it is, John, is that when the ball was actually thrown in there, Corby actually had 3 attacking players in position ready to counter-attack, and then obviously what that does, that leaves a little bit of gap. Slough had 2 players going for the same ball in Rhys York and Adam Martin, and the ball's flicked across. But the way that Corby are lining up, they are susceptible to being caught out.
Yeah, they are playing a very aggressive formation here against the Rebels at home, and the Rebels haven't been in great form recently, but so far we've played 11 minutes. They've just grabbed a lead from a great finish from Ed Smith from all of 25 yards out, and Adam Martin's trying to repel, trying to work hard, but he's getting clipped a couple of times. He was doing quite well, and the Steelmen fan around us don't quite agree, but Claudio Hoban just clipped him as he was turning, and there was a couple of them.
I don't get what the 6 Ben Milnes is. They're 1-0 down. He just walked away with the ball, bouncing it away. Surely you give the ball back and try and get the ball back into play. And Chris Henry on the left is hugging this touchline, which is something we haven't had from Slough for quite a while.
No, 2 wide wingers, then a very diagonal ball there from centre-back Rhys York. It didn't lack it lacked a little bit of culture, and it's directly out for Walker to have a goal kick. Corby will now be tested. They trail 1-0. We've played nearly 12 minutes here at Holloways Park. Obviously, no Spencer Weir-Daly in the team this evening, and also they've dropped Shane Byrne. He's out of the team, and in has come I believe the players are Carvalho and Hoban, who've gone into that starting 11, playing a 4-2-4 formation, so a very attacking formation away from home. As Slough once again almost in, with Scott Harris trying to flick the ball in the direction of Henry up against Thomas. Thomas heads it away well into midfield. It'll be now clipped further on by Milnes down the right side, but it's an aimless ball. It's poor considering he had 4 forward options, and he's clipped it straight out into the left back position and out of play. Slough are not in any particular rush, and a few of the Corby natives that are just sat around us in this stand are getting a little bit restless.
Yeah, but I think that it's no good just having to go at the player for kicking the ball out when it's too far, but he had very little options, and although they're playing a 4-2-4, obviously Slough got 4 defenders going across the line, and they're matching them up. And maybe Corby will need someone to break from that midfield or from the back to give them a little bit more of an attacking edge, because Slough at the moment are just matching 4 up against 4.
Yeah, so welcome along wherever you may be listening. Any of those people listening up from Corby. I can see a gentleman Corby fan just tweeting. I'm just going to try and see. I hope that's not a rude message that you're reading. I'm hoping not. It doesn't involve a photo. This man is.
He looks like a bloke that could be off that old people's programme, Off the Rockers, with where they're doing that kind of stuff.
ball's midway inside the Corby half. Adam Martin just jumps out of tackle, flicks it to Ryan Parsons. Corby chomping away at Slough's heels at the moment, putting a bit of pressure on. Milne's just battling in there. Slough not allowing them out. Thomas left-footed clearance up to the halfway line towards Chamberlain. Does well to try and control it, but Slough again repelling it. And now Jake Parsons has a little bit of space on the right-hand side because there's not that many midfielder players tracking back. They've only got 2 in there. It's going to be a hard shift in there for Taylor and Milnes in the middle of midfield. And Slough trying to play down into that right-hand corner. Don't quite lack the execution a little bit, and it's out on the far side. I
really don't understand the Corby formation. The ball there was out to Jake Parsons on the wide right, and Cleveland Taylor, who's the captain, He literally just stood there and watched as the play went past him. And he was the second closest player towards Jake Parsons, could have gone over and helped out, but he was more interested in, as soon as Corby getting the ball forwards.
Ball all the way through to Williams. Williams gathers it. You're not missing much. It was just a direct ball all the way through with there to Williams, away to our right-hand side as we look at it. Slough shooting down the hill from left to right. We're coming up to the quarter of an hour mark. It is Slough Town 1, Corby Town 0. We haven't seen any other score from the other game which is going on this evening between Arlesey and Poole, as Slough once again trying to attack, trying to get Chris Henry away down the left-hand side. Captain Ben Edwards flicks the ball and Adam Martin now helps it on its way behind Taylor, but it's over hit and Walker scampering out his goal to his left-hand side. In the
Chris Henry realised that was a good ball played through by Adam Martin, but Henry had just gone to kind of like go down the touch line rather than through and turn into that. And but there's a lot of space behind this Corby back four, and
there's some interesting tweets coming in from some of the Slough fans. Juan Smith makes it Juan 0, no matter the final score. That is class, which I'm sure the Rebels will be perhaps talking about later and for some time to come. It was a very nice finish from them. But Corby are now asking questions of Slough with their heavy attacking pressure. Yeah, Slough sliding in.
Good tackle there.
And seem to get the ball. Corby go to ground. Ben Edwards doing a lot of work in the middle with Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons flicks the ball forward directly, but now more bodies in the middle of the midfield, and it's Captain Taylor clips it off, but then that's a poor execution by Ngoma, and he's hit it out on the halfway line under the cameraman's gantry on the far side.
Isn't Ed an Arsenal fan?
Ed is an Arsenal fan.
I think he'd much rather be referred to Alexis Sanchez rather than Juan Mata.
He might well do, but he's Guy Hollis looking to fire the long throw forward, and Ed Smith gambling on it, but well up by Ngoma there to try and clear it. Taylor helps it on its way. It's going to look like Milnes trying to fire a diagonal ball forward for Chamberlain to chase down this left-hand side. Well dealt with by Hollis though, but it's still midway inside the Slough half. Corby have got plenty of bodies forward, including Hoban, 30 yards from goal, left-footed, trying to run at Ryan Parsons. Ryan Parsons from the left-back's gone all the way across. Chris Henry needs to tuck in, but Corby attacking towards the edge of the box. Just cut it back. Just take the momentum off slightly. And then it's left back. Morley having a little run forward. Edge of the box. A few tricks coming away. Slough haven't still got it cleared.
That's got to be a foul.
Looked like a foul there. And on the far side, Mills holds his hands up in disgust. And that certainly looked like a foul for the Corby man. And you can understand why he's slightly frustrated there, because he seemed to get clipped on the edge of the box by Ryan Parsons, I think it was on that far side.
Paul Forrester, the referee, decided it wasn't a foul from where we were. It looked like a clear foul that Corby should have had.
We're getting some abuse on Twitter about from some ladies that we're multitasking, and is that possible that we're reading tweets? So just to kind of do that, we are multitasking. We could do with some cake or a cup of tea if anyone's in the close vicinity.
Talking about cake, I must thank Nana Lynn for the cake that I had at Sarah and Sister on Saturday. It was absolutely stunning. Victoria sponge, fresh cream and jam.
As a coming together just as Rhys Shawk in the Slough defence was just trying to usher that out, and he was up against Hoban on that far side, and they managed to just usher it out between the two of them, and they nearly collided with the wall on that far side with a few Slough flags draped. It's even though Slough are taking the lead, it's a little bit of a subdued atmosphere once again. You're not out there shouting and leading the charge.
So if anyone's listening and realises that I've got a slightly different voice from Saturday, it was behind the goal on Saturday and kept shouting, and my voice is absolutely terrible today.
Yes, Corby once again attacking. They've got numbers forward, and it's good
it's
work.
Mills, isn't
it's
it?
Mills, good work, and that did look like a foul again. And Adam Martin does it, and there's a quick free kick taken. And Rhys Shawk's very alert there to take it off Chamberlain's feet. I think some of the Corby flat players might be slightly disappointed. It was about 25 yards from goal, and despite the fact it was a good opportunity to take a quick free kick, it may have been better to have left that for a dead ball specialist.
I thought that was good play. Maybe they've, without Spencer Weir Daly, I don't know, they maybe don't have a specialist, but it was good play, and it's unusual for a referee to allow a quick free kick as a corner comes in. It's always headed wide by
Rhys Shawk. Good defensive header there, cleared it away, but the corner in swinging from the far side came fired in by Mills on about the edge of the 6-yard box. It was fired, it was just flicked on and glanced away by the tall figure of Reshaw. Corby, now without Malone in their side, do lack a little bit of height, but Morley's now on this near side, another in-swinging corner awaiting. A few more Corby players are coming back, but there's plenty of movement in around the box. Flicks it towards the near post. Jake Parsons heads it away easily. Ed Smith now under pressure from Thomas, getting shoved in the back. Flicks it off to Jake Parsons. Jake Parsons now looking for a massive long diagonal ball into nobody in particular. It's all the way through to Walker.
Yeah, I think he thought that Scott Harris was making a run there, but Scott had made a run the other way. But that was a poor second corner there by Corby. Didn't beat the man at the first post, and it's something that we've moaned about sometimes with Slough, where, you know, you even at this level, surely you should put a dead ball to beat the first man in.
Yeah, it's interesting as once again the kick from Walker's won. Slough seem to be winning a bit more of the 50-50 battles at the moment. Just this last couple of minutes, they're having to defend. They're quite happy to get the numbers behind the ball, but Corby with their attacking.
I think that's the formation. If you look at the two in the centre midfield for Corby, it's number 6 Milnes and 8 Taylor. They could literally be holding hands.
Yeah,
they're that close together.
It's very narrow in there, and it looked like Guy Hollis had quite a lot there of number 7 Mills in the middle, and they seem to be moving around a bit. And a long ball played forward. Walker's come from his goal. He hasn't cleared it well. He hasn't cleared it at all well. And Ed Smith had a shot from all of 30 yards. It was well shut down there in the middle by
40
Taylor.
yards as Walker was way out of his goal, wasn't he? Poor kick by Walker, but it was blocked as he
passed it to the Slough striker, who was 40 yards from goal, but well shut down there by Ngoma. And it's safely with Walker, who's now dribbled the ball outside his box, right-footed. He's sliced this one slightly. He's going to do well to keep it in. And down this near side, it is good play by
poor mistake by Reshaw.
Poor mistake by Reshaw. Guy Hollis comes across, covers for his other centre back, just takes the thing off Chamberlain. You're getting excited, eh? Just have a breathe. Just have a breathe for a minute. As your summarising this is coming on in 2.5 minutes. Get yourself ready. Do some stretches. As Corby have an opportunity to throw the ball into the Slough box. Thomas on this near side throws it short to Hoban, tight against the touchline. He clears it towards the back post, and there's all sorts. The referee's assistant has signalled that the ball curled out and went in. Yeah. There seemed to be a little bit of wrestling going on in that Slough box, though.
I don't think Hoban was 100% happy with that decision. He felt that he had skinned Chris Henry and got a good cross in, but it wasn't, and therefore it's a goal kick to the Rebels for Luke Williams to take.
Yeah, so we've just passed the 20-minute mark. It's been a fairly even first 20. I think Slough have probably just edged the chances as such, but Corby are looking dangerous because they're bombing on. And poor clearance this time from Williams, directly out of play on the halfway line, and Corby playing with high tempo, trying to get the ball back underway. Plenty of slashing about of Hoban. Hoban ends up on his bottom. Ball down the line, and Reshaw smashes it off Chamberlain out for a Slough throw. Some of the Corby fans just giving a bit of encouragement to the Steelmen, who are certainly pushing hard. And Tommy Wright just in conversation with his assistant on the far side under the gantry. Long throw again from Hollis. Well met though at the back by Anton. Helped back into the left back position, and now Morley's going to have a couple of moments. Just chips the ball down the line, and it's in the direction of Mills down that left side, controlled there by Guy Hollis, but it's miscontrolled slightly and lost in the middle of the midfield by Corby, who are certainly playing as if this means a lot to them. They're playing with high tempo. You can't accuse them at all of coming here and not having a game plan.
No, but for me, I think the game plan's wrong for them at the moment. They're being caught out at the moment. They're not winning the balls in the middle.
Yeah, they're getting a little bit overrun in the middle of the park, it would seem, with their 2 players in there. But then when they play long balls forward, and it seems like that's their style today, as balls headed up in the air in the middle by Taylor, flicked on its way by Adam Martin.
Look how high their line is. I mean, they've literally playing the 4 defenders are literally level with the centre circle in their own half.
As Reshaw goes through the back of Chamberlain there, nothing doing, and the ball's bobbling around. Williams connects with it well. But it's dealt with. The ball's still spending an awful lot of time in the ball air raid, isn't it?
It is, and somehow the referee's seen a free kick there. But what's happening is Corby have got such a high line that every time Slough get the ball, they're winning it in midfield, winning the 50-50, playing the ball over the top, and that's what's getting them in.
Yeah, I'll hand over you to Ade now to do the commentary for the rest of the half. I'll be here summarising, keeping an eye on Twitter, etc.
Are you getting bored?
And Slough played a nice ball forward towards Scott Harris, but Walker's quick off his line, puts it out of play. I'll hand it over to Ade, and he'll take you through to half time.
What if I don't want it?
Well, it will be very quiet then, won't it?
So there's going to be a throw-in on the far side for the Rebels. It's right back, Sean Fraser to take. Just rolls it into Adam Martin. Again, flicking that ball over the top, and Ed Smith's actually onside. Just got a ball inside. He's inside the penalty area. He's claiming for handball, but he's stopped and not carried on playing with while the game's playing. And it's up with Chamberlain. Chamberlain just crossing the halfway line, up against Adam Martin. Keeps going. Good tackle by Adam Martin. Does well to win the ball and brings it out. And again, it's Corby getting caught out, but they've won the ball back with Mills on the far side, and Smith with a rather robust tackle. And he's just...
He might get himself booked here. He just tried to step on the ball as it was about to get taken quickly by Corby, just slowing it down. A bit cynically there, wasn't it?
But that's the problem. If the referee's going to allow a team to take a quick free kick, then he's going to expect the player to stand in front of the ball. So it's a free kick to the Steelmen, just inside the Slough half. They've got... all 6 of their attacking players up and around.
The Slough Twitter is neutral as always. Smith denied a clear penalty. Smith denied a penalty for a clear handball. Well, obviously, I think if they're away to that goal to our left-hand side, they're a lot closer than us, but couldn't really tell from here.
No, and Carvalho's just gone down with a challenge with Sean Fraser, but all he's won is a throw-in, and the Steelmen take it quickly to Ben Milnes. It's played back to Ngoma, long ball forwards. Well won by Guy Hollis, but the ball's won by the... And it's a great shot, and a great save by Luke Williams. And it's... I can't see who it was with the shot. Was it 11? I think that was Carvalho with a shot there from about 25 yards out. Very much the same position Ed Smith hit. He's hit that one, and full-length diving save by Luke Williams. Pushes it wide, and it's a corner to Corby on this near-hand side. It's going to be Morley to go over, the left-back, to take this one. Hoping for a better one. And again... He just beat the first man on the post, and it was Anton, the number 4 for
Corby. It looked as if Jake Parsons actually headed it onto Anton's head, and I think that's probably why Anton, to give him his dues, didn't quite get it on target, because I think it just flicked off Jake Parsons at the near post. He didn't quite get enough on it, and it rebounded very powerfully into Anton's head.
He was jumping in and attacking, and maybe that little flick just maybe diverted it out of its natural path. But Corby having a couple of good chances there in that last minute. We're 25 minutes into the game. Ball's played long. Well won in the midfield, but Guy Hollis flicks the ball through. Scott Harris is unmarked. He flicks it on for Ed Smith. He's unmarked.
He's offside. He's offside.
He put it over anyway. But that was a very late flag because, Slough are just asking the question. That the problem that Corby have got, they've got that high line at the back. They are playing so far up the field that the flick on from Scott Harris put Ed Smith in. He's not happy with the decision. He feels he was onside.
Oh, well, and he was saying when I spoke to him in the car earlier this afternoon when I drove up with him that he hadn't been booked in a while, and I just thought, well, that's going to be a red tonight then.
I'm glad you're so neutral. And again, look, a long ball forward. Anton's up against Smith. It's one. Ben Milnes tries to flick it on. Reece York with the good header forwards. And Henry muscles off. Am I reading something?
Arlesey have conceded to Poole. Wiskin has scored, so Poole at the moment will be going back to the top of the Southern Premier League as it stands this evening. They are leading by 1-0 at
poor mistake
Arlesey.
by Chris Henry there. But well recovered by Guy Hollis and Jake Parsons. Again, Slough are just looking for the ball over the top. As Corby come down to the other side. It's Mills on the far hand side. He's up against Hollis. Good tackle by Hollis. And Hollis managed to get the rebound out. He's cleared it to Jake Parsons. Up on the right, closed down by Carvalho. And it's Morley, wins the ball off. Plays the ball in. Milnes has time to turn, but Ed Smith challenges. Anton, long ball forwards. Again, looking for the wide man. And it's seen out by Guy Hollis, and it will be a throw-in. It's a throw-in to the Slough, but for some reason the linesman gave it one way, but the referee's giving it the correct way.
And it's caused a bit of entertainment here anyway. Histon 1, Chesham 1 is another score in the Evo Stuck Southern Premier League today. As we say, Arlesey Town 0, Poole Town 1 is a latest from Arlesey. So that is not great news if you're a Steelman fan, with Steelmen trailing 1-0 after coming up towards 28 minutes here at Holloways Park.
Another good tackle.
That's
a two-footed challenge.
And that was a naughty challenge from
Ryan Parsons. Could be off here. Could have taken it quickly, but that was a two-footed challenge. He left
his feet, and this could be trouble for the Rebels as he jumped. He won the ball cleanly, but I think the referee is going to send him off. I wouldn't be at all surprised.
It was two-footed. He did win the ball,
but he left the air.
But both feet were off the ground in the air.
So this is a pivotal moment in the game. Slough may be reduced to 10 minutes.
What will Mr. Forrester do? We're just waiting, though. And a substitution for Corby Town already. Claudio Hoban has come off, and in his space is Shane Byrne. He's tried to run on, but he's not.
Byrne's coming on.
That's what I said.
And do we see that the yellow card there produced?
He's still on the pitch, so it must have been yellow.
It was a yellow card produced, so we, in the 28th minute, Corby make their first substitution, an early time.
Yeah, well, I mean, Hoban got caught early on in when he got caught by Guy Hollis's leg, and although he's been running around well, maybe he feels he can't go on, but Corby have got 4 men around the ball, and only 4 players anywhere near the box. It's about 30 yards away from goal.
Dead centre.
And it looks like it's going to be Mills. No, not Mills. Who's that one? Carvalho, who's going to take this.
Yeah, he's lining up Ronaldo style, dead straight. It looks like he's going to toe punt it. Slough have a 2-man wall, and Williams is behind it.
He shoots, and it's about it's not that far wide, but
it
just
didn't have
over
much pace on it. You wouldn't
No.
have expected Williams to be beaten from 30, 35 yards.
But yeah, just wide of the goal, so it still remains Slough Town 1, Corby Town 0, and we've played 29 minutes of the game so far. And it's still Arsley 0, Poole 1. So we'll try and keep you abreast of the scores as they happen. But
I'm trying the new kind of scoring formation so that I don't have to write too much. I can just do like old school. I hopefully won't get to a 5-bar gate situation. That would be interesting to say the least.
Clue what you're on about.
Okay, good. Well, that's brilliant.
Jake Parsons with the ball, knocks it back to Sean Fraser. Again, flicks it full. Ball high line again by Corby. Well won by Ed Smith. Looking for Henry on the far side, but good defending there by Thomas. And it's Carvalho to bring the ball out. This time with Byrne, the new player on the pitch. They've immediately lost it, but Harris has to close it down. And again, that long ball forward by Corby is picked up well by Slough. But it's Byrne that's won the header. And it's Mills this time, bringing the ball out. And Ed Smith goes in with a good tackle on Cleveland Taylor. Wins the ball. Looking for Henry on this far-hand side. He's going to use his pace up against Thomas. He'll do well to keep that ball in. He does, and he goes past Thomas. He's running down the far side to the byline. Thomas comes over to block. And he's still got the ball, and he's won a... No, he hasn't won a corner. It's a goal kick. I think
Yeah, interesting play there. I mean, it's clear down this left-hand side that Thomas is just lacking a little bit of pace up against Henry. Slough looking to exploit it and put it in behind Thomas. But Henry on that time, just one trick too many. He did very well to keep it in the first instance. But Walker's going to have a goal kick down to our left-hand side. We're approaching the half-hour mark here. Been quite entertaining. We kicked off slightly after the 1:45 mark, if any of you are joining us late. I'll just quickly take you through the teams. It's Walker, Thomas, Morley, Anton, Ngoma, Mills, Taylor, Chamberlain, and then Carvalho, and the substitute of Byrne has already come on for Hoban in the 28th minute.
And again, a ball there by Reshort, just trying to break that Corby high back line, but it was well blocked. It's flicked forwards. Guy Hollis does well to win that one, but it's a chase for Ryan Parsons. He's not going to do that. It's going to be a throw-in, and Corby take it quickly to Milnes. Turns inside Hollis. He's looking to get the cross in. Does so, but unfortunately that ball is out, and it will be a goal kick to
and
the
I'll
Rebels.
just take you through the Rebels team. The Rebels team, only one change from the team that won 5-3 at Cirencester away on Saturday. In goal, 1 Luke Williams, 2 Sean Fraser, 3 Ryan Parsons, 4 Guy Hollis, 5 Rhys Shawk, 6 Adam Martin, 7 Jake Parsons, captain Ben Edwards number 8, 9 Scott Harris, goal scorer Ed Smith on the 28th minute, and substitute number 11 Chris Henry, and Ryan Parsons booked for what looked a naughty challenge in the 28th minute. So yeah, it's quite an interesting game, isn't it? It's quite a tense game.
Yeah, and I think that Corby maybe will have to change something as the ball's played again past that high line. Jake Parsons on the far hand side does well to keep it in. Plays it in first time, but cleared by Anton. Not the best of clearances, and Jake Parsons trying to win it back. And it's blocked down on that near side. It's out for a throw in to Corby, but it's right in the far side by the corner flag. And we've got a latest score from Histon. It's Histon 2, Chesham 3.
That's the game to be at this afternoon, or this evening, sorry, as it were. So there can be only 30, 35 minutes gone. And
Ryan Parsons just had to be careful. He went in with a tackle, and he just had to be careful. He's on that yellow card. Anton plays the ball back to Walker. Walker got plenty of time. Harris is finally closing him down. Long ball forwards. Well won by Ryan Parsons, but it's inside to Taylor. And Taylor with a poor ball out to the wide side, and Slough fans in no hurry to give it back. And the Corby fans around us not too happy with how their team are doing today. But Ryan Parsons is going to take the throw in. We've played nearly 33 minutes of the game. He's going to throw it down the line. Harris to flick it on. Well won by Thomas. This time it's flicked on by Ben Edwards. And Chamberlain with the ball, but it's out to Jake Parsons on that far hand side, but poor touch, picked up again, and it's way out to Carvalho this side, and he's totally misjudged that, took his eye off the ball, rolled under his foot, and a throw into Slough.
I would say Carvalho hasn't started well, has he? He's made a couple of mistakes during this first half hour or so. I know he's fresh into the team, and he didn't start on Saturday.
He did play in the earlier game against the Rebels, didn't he?
Yeah, so and he was quite impressive on that day. But today, so far, he hasn't quite been at the races just as yet. But that may well come back to haunt the Rebels as Slough once again a little bit under pressure, but they're trying to struggle to clear the ball away. And Ben Edwards rather heads it into no man's land inside their own half.
Yeah, and Milnes picks it up. He's just attacking to the Slough box. He plays it outside to Mills. Mills cutting back in, puts a good cross in. It's flicked on, and Ryan Parsons has kicked it off the line. And Corby appealed for a penalty there for a push, but not given. Push on Milnes it was.
It looked as if the Slough player just used his behind and just kind of leaned into his players. And I think if
Mills puts a decent cross into Chamberlain, Guy Hollis wins a header.
It's Slough struggling to clear their lines here, Ade.
Yep, and he's got the ball on the edge of the area. He's up against Ben Edwards. He's looking for a ball, and he's got it out to Byrne. Byrne shoots, and that's he's looking for that far top post.
Yeah, just over these last couple of minutes, the pressure just slightly coming from Corby a little bit more. That there was that ball ricochet, and the referee unusually, he's not the player. The referee's having to do up his shoelaces unless he's injured.
No, he keeps doing his shoelaces.
So he needs to sort those out. But yeah, there was a coming together in the box there as the ball bounced around, and Milnes just went to ground slightly easily.
Just looking at Ryan Parsons, the left back for Slough, he's in front of us. He's actually got a cut on his sock, obviously from where he went in with that 2-footed challenge.
Or it could have been that one just there. He seemed to get caught again just as he tried to block that goal-bound effort. So, the visitors here, the Steelmen, are coming into this game much more strongly now over these last few minutes.
10 minutes to go of the first half. It's a long kick by Williams. Smith again trying to win the ball, but it's going to come out to Jake Parsons on the right-hand side. And this time Mills does come back to try and defend. Plays it back to the right-back Fraser. Fraser closed down by Byrne. And it'll be a throw-in on the far side for the Rebels. Yeah,
I would say Corby have come to grips with the game. They're still playing some long diagonal balls down the channel in their 4-2-4 formation, but I think they're kind of coming to pressure a little bit more, the Rebels, and the Rebels aren't quite coping perhaps as well as they were initially.
I think that the introduction of Byrne means that they're now playing more of a 4-3-3 rather than a 4-2-4 as it looked like they were playing for those first half an hour of the game.
Yeah, I think Tommy Wright slightly adapted, although the big change is that Milnes seems to be playing in a much more advanced role, but he seems to be just coming off the front three, just getting involved in that kind of traditional sort of number 10 role in the middle of the park, but he certainly is playing more advanced than he was.
He was, but poor touch there by Morley on the far-hand side. It'll be a throw-in to the Rebels, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, Byrne's definitely come in and played more of a deeper role. But he, like you say, he seems to have taken over the role that Milnes had, and Milnes is being allowed to roll a little bit further. But
Milnes is just sitting off the back of Chamberlain in the middle. With on the right hand side at the moment it's Carvalho, on the left hand side it's Mills, and Mills and Milnes. It gets a bit of a mouthful out there, doesn't it, occasionally? But
there's a foul there.
People caught each other off the ball. Just a little bit of a trip there, I think, by Adam Martin. 2
6s, wasn't it? Adam Martin and Ben Milnes for Corby, but it's a free kick to Corby. Just inside their own half, just by the centre circle. Again, take it quick, but poor one. Easily won by Sean Fraser, but his touch is poor. But Anton gave the ball away, but they've got it back. And this time Ryan Parsons does well to judge
and
that.
Thomas out of position now.
And the ball isn't of best quality, and Anton has safely seen it out. Henry applauding the ball. It's the right idea, but just a little bit too much on it. So throw in to Corby. It'll be the right back Thomas to take this. It's hooked forward again. Reshort comes in with Chamberlain. And an easy free kick there given to Corby.
There's some industrial language here from the local Rebel fans.
We do apologise if you picked that up.
He sort of suggesting that Chamberlain could have had a little bit more strength in there, but it's. I think both sets of fans are shouting at the moment. Neither of them particularly on favouring Paul Forrester or his decisions. But Corby going to get the opportunity to put this ball into the Slough box. 5 minutes or so to go.
It's going to be Morley to take it just inside the Slough half. Long ball aiming for the penalty edge of the area. It's flicked on by Taylor. It's flicked on again, and easily for Williams to come out and click that one. And he rolls it out quickly to Jake Parsons on the far hand side. He's up against Taylor. Cuts inside, looking for some help. Comes from Adam Martin. Adam Martin flicks the ball on again. Slough looking to get past that high line, and Gamer wins the ball. Threads it out. far hand side throw in just by the centre circle for the Rebels. And we have about 7 minutes left of this first half. It's Slough Town 1, Corby Town 0.
A goal, after 28 minutes, a superb volley by Ed Smith, edge of the box, when after a flick on by Rhys York from a long throw from Guy Hollis. But Corby have had their chances, and
he's onside. Chamberlain's onside
there, and he's going to have a run through. But Slough have 4 players back against 3 Corby.
It's Mills, cup against Fraser, runs past and...
He should be booked for diving.
He
should book him for diving. He knocked the ball. He had a really heavy touch and knocked it miles past him, and then theatrically, something out of the Premiership, threw himself to the ground. Mr. Forrester, I'm happy with that decision for him today. It's one of his best decisions, and it's just stupid and petulant, isn't it?
Well, I mean, the thing was, I think Mills did overhit it, and he just purposely ran into Sean Fraser to try and win a penalty.
It wasn't even one of those ones that was close, like an Oscar for Chelsea or something like that. It was one where he was considerable away, and almost had to dive into him.
But then that came from a mistake from the lines because it was right level with us, and Chamberlain was about 2 or 3 yards offside.
Are you wearing your Slough spectacles there?
We were dead level with it, and the line didn't pick it up, and that's where it's come from. So although he had a chance, he's getting a little bit of abuse here, the linesman. He's smiling away, but
there's
kind of smiling away.
And once again, Corby, unlike some of the videos that I've seen,
gets
himself into trouble there, concedes the corner, and he's frustrated with himself, smashes the ball against the wall, but it'll be a Corby corner on the far side, which Mills will go across to take. But
Chamberlain's given Guy Hollis a bit of a run around these last 10-15 minutes, and
Slough will be looking for this half time. We're about 5 minutes away from it. There hasn't been too much injury time.
It's corner on the far side. It's flicked in. And it said, great save by Luke Williams there off the line. And
the header came in. It was flicked on at the near post. Anton at the far post.
And Scott Harris is up against Thomas. He's doing well.
And falls on his bottom. Ball all the way back, and it's going to be cleared long by Morley.
But that was a great effort there for Corby. Good save by Luke Williams. And again, Corby looking for that long ball. They seem to be targeting maybe the fact that Mills is up against Fraser.
I don't quite understand Tommy's right thinking, if I'm honestly down here. I've seen Corby play a lot on their videos and heard a lot and read a lot of their match reports, and this doesn't seem how they always normally play. They're playing very, very direct against Slough, and I'm not sure. It'll be interesting. I might try and see if I can have a word with a few of the away fans at half time, just to see what they're making of this, whether this is how they'd normally play. It's not the best surface for playing football, but it's certainly not one that means you need to play as direct as they are in this first half.
No, not at all. But again, the Corby line is very high defensively, as Slough win the ball, but the linesman says that that's not the correct decision. And again, decision not appreciated by one set of the fans. The ball's played forwards. Rhys York does well to win the header. It comes through to Ben Edwards in the centre. He's closed down by Byrne. Ball comes back to Morley. Morley up to Milnes. Milnes, edge of the area, looking to play the ball in. Well blocked. And the ball's going to come out to Byrne on this far hand side. He's up against 2 players. But steps on the ball. And Parsons does well to clear it, but over the Anton's got time to bring the ball forwards.
Slough just struggling to get the ball clear at the moment. They're defending quite deep, and Corby is certainly applying some pressure there. Slough looking for this half-time whistle as the ball's in midfield with Taylor, who clips the ball towards the Slough box. Rhys York thunderbolts that up in the air. It's ugly and high. Ed Smith battling hard against Taylor, but Slough looking to just try and get a foothold on this game. They need to just
Jake
keep
Parsons
possession.
Again, looking for that high line across, and it's Smith rushing into the box. He's helped by Henry on this far-hand side. Henry plays the ball back to Smith. Smith got a chance to keep it in.
It's too far.
Just overrun it, but again, the high line of Corby, all it takes is a ball across, and this time from Jake Parsons. He put the ball in, and Smith ran past Anton. Acres of space for him to run into, but Anton did well to come back and get that. But I think that unless Corby change that the second half, Slough will maybe benefit a little bit more of that. They're far too high up, and they're not giving themselves much chance. Walker's kind of like literally playing along a sweeper on his own on the 18-yard line.
He's not been under too much pressure. A few of the fans just starting to make their way round as they're anticipating the half-time break. It's cold here at Holloways Park. They're heading round towards the burger van to get a cup of tea and to warm up. Can Corby give them something to warm themselves
up? To bring the ball out. He's 35 yards out. He's going to shoot. He shoots wide and low, and it's just past the post. And the diving hand of Luke Williams.
Like Williams almost got a touch on that to me, but anyway, can't have done.
Maybe not, but either way, the referee says it's a goal kick, and it is a goal kick. And we have roughly about 2 minutes remaining, plus any extra time.
As far as we're still aware at the Poole game, it is Arsley 0, Poole Town 1. Please do contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio via Twitter.
Arsley seem to be put in a lot of effort in to try and get an equaliser in that game.
I think that's Histon. You misread that one. Or
that one there where it says, can we force an equaliser?
Okay. Half-time, Histon 2, Chesham 3.
And the ball is in the camera box.
Sorry?
The ball has bounced up in, and he's not going to go get it. Lawrence isn't going to get the ball because he's too busy filming.
Oh, yeah, he's not allowed to get the ball. As a couple more of the Corby officials, one of the guys who was tweeting earlier, just makes his way round to the pitch. There's a reasonable number in here, including some some new local fans, which is always nice to see here at Holloways Park. But at half-time, we will...
it's going to be a long throw from Guy Hollis.
Well, this paid off for the only Slough goal, didn't it?
The first goal came for it. And again, Martin and Reshook. It's up to Scott Harris. It's well won, but Carvalho wins that second ball, and he has time to play it out. It's with Morley, the left-back. Long ball up again, looking for Chamberlain, but that one will go safely out of play. Well marshalled by Guy Hollis.
Yeah, it'll be fascinating to see what Tommy Wright makes any changes. I'm sure the Slough joint managers at this time are quite happy with how things are going. Since the goal, they seem to have eased off a little bit. They haven't created many clear chances at all, but I think they're probably just quite happy to get in, reorganise and things like that. As Corby have applied quite a lot of pressure, but without having any clear chances.
Well, they've had that couple of saves that Luke's had to make.
Yeah, the one from the set piece where it was a good header by Anton.
And the shot from Mills.
The shot from Mills that just went wide, but... yeah, but there hasn't been it hasn't been the Alamo. Possession, it's a little bit like Barcelona. Probably Corby have had a lot, but they've been playing quite direct, haven't they?
And the ball's it's played in, and good header by Thomas there. Just stops the ball coming through to Henry. And Corby can bring it out with... it's out with... Who's that? Carvalho. But closed down well by Ben Edwards. But Carvalho gets the ball back. Up to Milnes. Milnes does well to turn, but well won by Adam Martin for the Rebels. And he plays it off Milnes for a throw into the Rebels. We're
almost into additional time here at the end of the first half. We've got about 10 seconds left. The referee's just signalling how many minutes to his assistant on the far side.
And did he signal then?
I think he just signaled 1.
Okay. You're sure he wasn't being rude?
He's just one. See? Saying 1.
1 minute.
Well, at least he's not doing it in a rude gesture, is he?
That's what I meant.
I hope you're enjoying this commentary. Irrespective of what the score is, hopefully we'll bring you a service which you enjoy. Please let people know. Please retweet.
Martin flicks it on. Anton does well to win. The ball's playing around the box. Martin does well to kick it down, but throwing to Corby.
Yeah, please do. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, if you've got any observations, please do let us know. We do it here for you. We're not just doing it to entertain ourselves because it's cold, it's dark, and it's not the best of locations to do it. It's Corby just messing around with it in defence a little bit. They're not getting it forward ever so quickly. I suspect we've got probably 20 or 30 seconds of this first half left. Perhaps one more opportunity for Corby to get the ball forward.
Yeah, and Byrne seems to be playing a deeper role. He's literally playing as if he was like David Beckham as a quarterback kind of position. As the ball's played up, Chamberlain is up against Reece York, deep in the far hand side for Corby. Corby back to Morley. Morley with a chance to put the ball in. He does well to put the ball in. It's hit Guy Hollis and the ball's... Has he given a penalty?
Yes, he has. Yes, he's given a penalty.
How was that a penalty? He's given a penalty to Corby, but Taylor... I think it was Taylor or Cavalli.
He was coming away from goal at that particular point, and this is a leg up into the game. This could be a crucial moment as the players seem to be coming away from goal.
He was definitely coming away. I thought he just got his foot caught in the ground, but the referee's given it as a penalty. Slough fans and players are totally annoyed by this. They're surrounded by the referee, which you don't like to see. But for me, that was never a penalty in a million years.
That was a very interesting decision. I'd love to have this foresight of a television to go and see that again. But
they've given it to Mills. It's going to be Mills to take the penalty.
The end result is that Mills has a penalty deep in added time. We're in the 47th minute of the first half.
So it's Mills up against Williams. Mills standing on the edge, strikes forward, hits it down into the bottom corner, and Corby have equalised in the last minute of the first half from I would say a terrible decision by the referee.
I'm not sure it was terrible. I mean, I don't know. Perhaps Fraser. It looked like Fraser. I think it was just coming across. May have just caught Taylor as he was going away from goal. But
yeah, but I was still arguing with the referee about the decision, and
there seems to be a lot of uncomfortable words coming out for the referee. I think he's going to pretty much blow for half time. But
straight away, yeah. Slough started off, and Slough got to be on. They've given it away already, straight away.
Now
and
that's
that is the half time.
And the referee there, Mr. Forrester, ran very much away to the left hand side. And both Slough joint managers, you don't always like to see this, but Neil Baker is
absolutely fuming.
He is running over to the referee.
Well, he's not running.
He's waddling fast. As fast fast he can go, and he's absolutely infuriated. Paul Forrester is just trying to understand what exactly is going on. John Underwood is smacking at him. John Underwood's pointing at the camera saying, we're going to have video evidence of that, so that will tell. That's the good thing. The two stewards are coming on to try and protect him.
Late.
But the video evidence will be very interesting to see what the camera shows. But unfortunately, it's not going to change anything here. And very similar to the home game earlier in the season for Corby, Corby snatched a late equaliser in that first half, didn't they? To really change the game after the Rebels scored early on. But the half-time score here in a fascinating game at Holloways Park is Slough Town 1, Corby Town with a late penalty there.
Even George Short, the Slough sub, is questioning why he made the decision. And like I say, for me, I didn't think it was a penalty. I know I may be slightly biased, but I personally didn't think it was.
I'd just like to see it again. As I say, I couldn't potentially tell exactly from where I am, but it's certainly a talking point. It would be very interesting to see. The referees might get a little bit of abuse as he goes off, but what we're going to do is
we're Slough fans down that end at the moment.
We're going to hand you over to just an interview we did earlier this week after the win at Chippenham. Cirencester, sorry. And we'll leave you with that while we just go and get a cup of tea and a comfort break, and we'll join you live for the second half to see who goes on to potentially get 3 points. Hello and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by a jubilant Slough joint manager, John Underwood. How are you, John?
Good, thanks.
A long time to get that win and monkey off your back.
Yeah, it's been a tough spell for us, really. We needed a win, however it came, and you say you'll take a 1-0, a 5-4 or whatever, and it very nearly was that. So it's just about getting a win. So it doesn't matter how they come.
Would you have ever anticipated before the game that you'd have won 5-3 and there'd have been 8 goals for it, and there could have been goals galore at either end? No,
I mean there could have been another 8 goals, I think, today. No, you don't expect it. I mean, we did set up a bit different today. We went 4-4-2, very attacking with 2 wide players that we asked to get forward. So we hadn't done that so much recently, and so we did say we're going to go for it. We're not going to sit back and just try and cancel out the other team. We're going to just go and be positive, and we knew that would leave us a little bit exposed defensively, but we also thought we could cause them some problems, and that's exactly how it panned out. Yeah,
the first 10 minutes was a bit nervy. Obviously, did you tell Captain Jamie McClurg to change ends if you won the toss?
I think Neil might have spoken to him about that, but it was a tough first half or first spell. I thought it probably took us about 20 minutes to really get to grips with playing against that strong wind on the slope. They were quite direct. They got it forward early, and we didn't defend well early on.
Had a little bit of luck on your side as well to kind of keep it to 0.
Well, I thought it was a penalty for them early on. I think Reece Short challenged one of their forwards. It looked very much like a penalty. I think they then hit the bar all in the first 10 minutes.
Hit one straight at Luke as well that he palmed off the line.
Yeah. I mean, we were living dangerously, but I'm not going to apologise for having a bit of luck. We've had plenty of times this season where things haven't gone for us. So, sometimes you need a few things to go your way. It's Cirencester away is a tough game, and you need 1 or 2 things at key moments to go your way, and perhaps they did today.
Yeah, and Cirencester themselves obviously pushing towards playoffs where they were hoping to get to. They played a very open attacking style as well, which kind of led to that open game.
Yeah, it was very open. I mean, they played really well at our place when they beat us 2-1, so we knew how tough today would be. They needed to win to kind of stay in touch with the playoffs, so that's obviously not been a good result for them today. But we were well aware this is a tough game. They're all tough at the minute. You look at the fixture list, and we've got obviously Corby, Hitchin, St Neots, Leatherhead, Hungerford. I don't know where that came from. Hungerford. So every game looks tough at the minute. So it's really important to get 3 points on the board.
And was there any particular player that you thought, hang on, they really stood out for you today?
I thought obviously Chris Henry made a real difference today. I thought he obviously got 2 goals. He was involved in a lot of the good things that we did. He's just very direct. He wants to beat his man. He wants to get a cross in. He made the box. At times when we had the ball wide today, we had 3 players in the box, 2 forwards and the other wide player, which we've probably not had so much recently. So Chris did well. I thought the front 2 caused them a lot of problems. I thought they both had good games. But yeah, I thought everybody going forward did well. I thought that the midfield two were against a three in there, and I thought they worked ever so hard, Clergy and Adam. So yeah, just delighted all round really. Obviously, not happy with some of the goals we've conceded and the way we've defended at times, but I don't think today is for talking about those things. We know where we're falling short at times at the minute, and we want to enjoy all the positives today.
And how did you kind of feel? Did you feel comfortable every time you kind of took that step ahead and took a lead? Then they'd come right back at you. Cirencester would attack, get a goal back, and kind of cut that lead. At 4-3, it looked a little bit nervous out there.
It was nervous. I think when we went 4-1 up early in the right at the start of the second half, we then played some really good stuff, and I thought they were going to be dead and buried there. And credit to them, they came back. We didn't help ourselves with how we defended at times. But yeah, at 4-3, they've got all the momentum, and it wouldn't have been totally impossible for them to go and get an equaliser. They had chances, and we always still look dangerous on the break. But it's tough when you've been on a difficult run and you get pegged back from 4-1 to 4-3. You're going to get doubts creep in. It's only natural on the sidelines and in the side. But we're just relieved that we got through it and got the win. Nice to spread the goals around us a bit again. Was Hattrick happy when he got pulled off of being on a hat trick? No, probably not. We felt at that point they were causing us some real problems. And we wanted to, they went 4 up front. They weren't very attacking as they're bound to do when they're chasing the game. And we just felt Liam Maloney's very strong defensively. He's very disciplined. We just sent him on to sit in front of the centre halves and win the little bits and do the horrible, the nasty stuff. And he did that. He came on and did that. So we just left Eddie up top. So yeah, I'm sure Hatchet wanted to stay on, but it was the right thing for the team. And so then looking ahead to Tuesday, a game against the league leaders, Corby, who had a really good victory today away at Redditch, goalkeeper sent off. Again, dug in, they're showing really their title credentials. Yeah, they're on a great run. They're obviously we beat them earlier in the season. I think they obviously didn't have a good night that night. I don't think we saw the real Corby that night. Myself and Bakes have been to see them more recently than that. They were very impressive, and they're grinding out results. They've had a great win today. They've gone top. They'll be boosted by that and by seeing Poole slip up. So they'll come to us in loads of confidence Tuesday. But football's funny. We've gone from low confidence, but then all of a sudden we're looking at Tuesday thinking we can go and win, whether they're top or not. It just gives you that boost, and we want to follow up and try and add some. Whether it's a point or 3. We've got to be that positive come Tuesday, and it's at our place midweek. Why shouldn't we go and give them a real good game? Any little knocks or niggles out to today's game that may be a concern ahead of Tuesday? I don't think we didn't pick up anything new today. Billy didn't recover from his injury last week. He's actually away with his school all this week, so he's unavailable again. So no, Dan Reid obviously had an issue. He broke down today and missed the game. He had to be towed back to Fleet, so we'll have Dan back in the squad. So we're fine squad-wise at the minute, and I don't think there'll be too many changes. Obviously we'll need to work out what we want to go with Tuesday, but we'll have to see how Jamie McClurg is, because after last Saturday with his knee, he struggled. He didn't do anything until Thursday training, so we'll have to see how he is for Tuesday. But we've got lots of options. Excellent. Well, good luck personally tomorrow in your half marathon. Thank you. Already nervous for it? I just want to get it done, to be honest. Looking forward to getting it done and going and having a beer. Excellent. Well, I'm sure that beer will taste sweet when you get to it, and we look forward to catching up with you on Tuesday. Cheers, Thank you. Hello, and welcome to Rebels Radio latest interview. I'm joined by a jubilant Slough joint manager, John Underwood. How are you, John? Good, thanks. A long time to get that win and monkey off your back. Yeah, it's been a tough spell for us, really. We needed a win, however it came. And you say you'll take a 1-0, a 5-4 or whatever, and it very nearly was that. So it's just about getting a win. So it doesn't matter how they come. Would you have ever anticipated before the game that you'd have won 5-3 and there'd have been 8 goals for it, and there could have been goals galore at either end? No, I mean there could have been another 8 goals, I think, today. No, you don't expect it. I mean, we did set up a bit different today. We went 4-4-2, very attacking with 2 wide players that we asked to get forward. So we hadn't done that so much recently, and so we did say we're going to go for it. We're not going to sit back and just try and cancel out the other team. We're going to just go and be positive, and we knew that would leave us a little bit exposed defensively, but we also thought we could cause them some problems, and that's exactly how it panned out.
Yeah, the first 10 minutes was a bit nervy. Obviously, did you tell Captain Jamie McClurg to change ends if you won the toss?
I think Neil might have spoken to him about that, but it was a tough first half or first spell. I thought it probably took us about 20 minutes to really get to grips with playing against that strong wind on the slope. They were quite direct. They got it forward early, and we didn't defend well early on.
Had a little bit of luck on your side as well to kind of keep it to 0.
Well, I thought it was a penalty for them early on. I think Reece York challenged one of their forwards. It looked very much like a penalty. I think they then hit the bar all in the first 10 minutes.
Good evening and welcome to the second half coverage of tonight's EvoStick Southern Premier League match. We're brought to you by MyFootballClub.co.uk, who sponsor. I'm being told what to do. Hold on, I'm just saying hello first. And we're sponsored by My Football Club, who are involved with Slough and pay for all of our equipment here today. A couple of why do you have to keep shouting? You're using terrible language. We're just waiting for Corby, just the first team out of the dressing rooms at the moment. A couple of little things for you. You'll see Hitchin is the next away game for the Rebels on Saturday at Topfield. And if you are a Slough fan, or if you're a Corby fan who maybe likes a night out, there is a Slough Town presentation evening on May the 2nd, which will be at Farnham Park. So more details can be found online at SloughTownFC.net. There is a coach to Hitchin, which you can still book on. You can contact Alan Harding. If you look on the internet, it tells you how to do it and how much it is. Just waiting for the Rebels to come out now, as the Slough fans have finally found their voices for a little bit. Immediately, Corby go into a huddle. Unfortunately, their huddle doesn't include their goalkeeper. They obviously don't like him much. And Slough fans are just walking past.
Yeah, there's a degree of frustration amongst, I think, the Slough fans. I'm not sure whether it's right or wrong. I think time will tell. There's a video being made of the match, and it'll be interesting to see what has happened. There was a contentious issue at the end of the first half where I believe it was Cleveland Taylor, was it? Went to ground under the challenge of Sean Fraser, heading away from goal in the edge of the Slough penalty box in the 47th minute, despite the referee indicating that he was only going to play 1 minute of extra. And the Slough fans seem a little bit distressed. I think a few of the Corby fans said, "Oh, well, it might have been, it might not have been." But it was a hard decision.
It was definitely the topic of conversation for the half time there.
Yeah, but the end result is that it's as we were back earlier in this season at Rocking Row, where it is Slough 1, Corby 1 at half time. The two teams in goal for Slough: number 1, Luke Williams; 2, Sean Fraser; 3, Ryan Parsons, who's been booked; 4, Guy Hollis;
must be, Paul Malone that
5, Reece York; 6, Adam Martin; 7, Jake Parsons; 8, and captain Ben Edwards; 9, Scott Harris; 10, goal scorer in the 28th minute, Ed Smith; and 11, Chris Henry. And the Steelmen: number 1, Paul Walker; number 2, Callan Thomas; 3, Stephen Morley; 4, Jamie Anton; 5, Hervé Pepe and Goma; 6, Ben Milnes; 7, Greg Mills; 8, and captain, Cleveland Taylor; 9, Elliot Chamberlain; and 11, Winston Carvalho. And already on the pitch is Shane Byrne, number 14, the substitute who replaced Claudio Hoban after approximately about half an hour or so. And the referee's still getting a little bit of grief.
He's just walking out now very slowly.
And Corby will be shooting from right to left down the hill towards the mini shed end, towards the open kind of M40 services end here at Beaconsfield, where Slough ground share.
We're what? It's 10 minutes to 9 at the moment, so we are starting a little bit late.
Yeah, and a few fans just making their way round with a cup of something warm to warm them on this.
Are you doing the first 20 odd minutes of this?
No, you can go first.
No, I'll let you do it if you want.
No, it's fine.
Slough will be kicking off. They will be shooting left to right to their favoured shed end that they're attacking. Game kicks off. The ball goes out to Ryan Parsons. Very poor touch. And it's Carvalho to bring the ball forwards. Plays the ball forwards up to Milnes. Milnes does well to hold the ball up. It's back out on the far hand side. Ball's played into Byrne, but he loses that, and Slough can bring it away with Ben Edwards here in the middle. Out to Sean Fraser. First time Sean Fraser's really got up this right hand side. He's up against the left back Morley. Plays the ball inside to Scott Harris. Scott Harris immediately closed down. Tackled well by Byrne. And Taylor can bring the ball out, and it's a lovely ball through for Chamberlain. just a little bit too much on it, and Luke Williams gathers it up on the edge of his area, and it comes to nothing. But
yeah, in the first half, Corby were playing quite an aggressive 4-2-4 formation with at that stage Mills and Taylor isolated a little bit in the middle midfield. But since Burns come on to accompany Taylor in the middle two against Chris Henry once again. But the Corby seemed to be a little bit more stable, perhaps playing slightly deeper with Mills kind of dropping off the front three and kind of playing in between the.
I think that Burns come on and kind of sat in a deeper role, being the playmaker, and it's maybe like a 4-1-3-2 kind of formation at the moment that Corby seem to be playing. It's a free kick to Corby, midway inside their own half. Walker, the goalkeeper, to take this one.
Latest score at Histon now is Histon 3, Chesham 3. We understand the score still down at Arlesey, which all you Corby Steelmen fans will be interested in, is Arlesey 0, Poole Town 1. So at the moment, as it stands, Poole would be heading back to the summit of the table this evening if it carries on this way. But I'm sure you'll be edging on and pulling forward those Steelmen to try and get you another goal and another away victory in your search for automatic promotion.
As Slough bring the ball out, Adam Martin plays with Henry's miles offside, and the linesman hasn't given that. That's terrible. He cuts inside. He goes. It's well tackled by Thomas, but the ball's out with Scott Harris. Chips the ball forward to Jake Parsons on the far side. Heavy touch by Parsons, but out to Fraser, the right back. He's going to go forward. He's going to get the ball in. Crosses it into Harris. Chests it down. And mishits a shot, and Walker
that was once again terrible referee's assistant. It's the same referee's assistant on this near side to us as in that first half. And I thought Chris Henry there for Slough was at least 2 or 3 yards offside.
And he's got the ball now. He's up against Thomas, and Thomas does well to close Henry down. But Henry on the far hand side, trying to get into the game, goes past Thomas quite easily. He's got time to get the ball in. Looks for a lower cross, well cleared by Anton from Corby, out to Ryan Parsons. Parsons loops a high ball in. Ed Smith's under it. He's still got hold of it. He kicks it in. And great defending there by Ngoma. Takes it off the foot of Scott Harris as he was almost going to put that into an empty net. Good defending there by Ngoma. And Martin trying to flick the ball forwards.
Yeah, this second half has really started at 100 miles an hour. There's a lot of head tennis. It's headed back down to Walker now to our right hand side, who's going to be shooting from right to left. There's a good amount of Rebels fans making a little bit of noise to our right hand side. There's quite a lot of abuse directed at the referee's assistant, I think, from some Steelmen fans in the near vicinity to us, and Slough just trying to get some composure, but they may have started slightly the
and there's a mistake there by Ngoma, and it just rolls through Walker, who covers well to get that one back, but Adam Martin wins it for the Rebels in midfield, out to Henry. Ball played forward for Smith to chase, but Anton comes over well, puts that one safely off the pitch. It'll be thrown to Slough on the far hand side, but Slough starting this second half very brightly.
They seem to have channeled that aggression that they had towards Paul Forrester, where both joint managers on the half-time whistle stormed over literally 10 seconds after the penalty incident. The score happened, and then the half-time whistle was blown, and they stormed over at Forrester. Listening to a lot of the fans, they think that may have perhaps been a little bit of a dive, and there wasn't actually any physical contact, but it's the referee's decision to make, and you can only play against what you are. As Slough again on the attack.
Parsons got it on the far-hand side, looking for some help. Fraser comes in, plays it out to Fraser. Touches for Poole by Fraser. Well defended by Morley, but it will be a corner to the Rebels. So the Rebels starting this second half slightly brighter. And it's going to be Jake Parsons to take the corner. It will be an out-swinging corner on this near-hand side. Attacking the shed end. We are 4 minutes into the second half. And this is the first real goal-mouth action that we're going to get. As the Slough fans make some noise behind the goal. Played in deep. Free header by Adam Martin. And headed that one actually onto the top of the roof stand.
Yeah, and it's slowly making its way down. One of the stewards is going to go and rescue it. Thank you.
No, it's stuck. It's got stuck. The ball is stuck on the roof.
Excited. I was trying to talk there. I was trying to thank some of the listeners that are out there thinking hello to Cameron Lacey out there, hello to Peter Masters, some of these other people who are maybe listening
James
from
Milne, Plastic Jock.
Yeah,
there's another one down there somewhere as well. Peter McDonald.
Yeah, there's a fair few people out listening. Hopefully you're enjoying your Tuesday evening, whatever you might be doing. If you've got a glass of wine or beer in your hand, listening to some non-league football. If only I'd like some hot mulled wine or a wee drama brandy or whiskey or something like that, just to warm us up on this chilly evening. It's still cool and clear, and there's a great football match in action. We don't know which way it's going to go at the moment, but
poor ball by Jake Parsons.
Yeah, you're not missing a lot on the pitch right now.
He's given a foul. Lino, he's given a foul to Slough, and that is a terrible decision. The ball's played by Jake Parsons, it's going nowhere. Smith up against Morley, the left back, just barge into each other, nothing going on, they're just guiding the ball out, and the Lino on this near-hand side has given it as a foul to the Rebels. It'll be a free kick, Jake Parsons to take, around about 25 yards outside the box. Poor kick by Parsons there, but an equally poor clearance by Morley.
Morley's had a bad 30 seconds there, hasn't he? He's slashed that one out, and it's again a long throw. Hollis making his way forward. This is how Slough scored early on in the first half, and it'll be interesting to see if they manage to get on this again.
Yeah, so it's going to be Guy Hollis, literally level with the Corby penalty area, taking this long throw. Deep in, aims at Rhys York. Rhys York jumps up well. It's cleared out, and Taylor with this time with a good clearance. Up to Mills, but his touch is poor. Hollis, long high ball up into the...
I think Ed Smith was in an offside position. It's heading off towards the Berger van. It's not like that famous shot that went in the Berger van, though, is it?
Doesn't clear that one well, but Anton covers and makes up for that one. Chamberlain doing well to try and keep it in, but...
Which ground was it at that it went in the Berger van? Was that Merthyr?
No, it's here.
Well, no, there was one here, but then there was one at an away game. I think it was it at Merthyr when it got smashed left-footed?
No, because the Merthyr thing was in the clubhouse, wasn't it?
Yeah, but I thought there was a thing... Anyway, sorry. By the by, get on with the game.
I would do. You keep interrupting. As Slough bring the ball out with Adam Martin. Played the ball forward, and again, the linesman here on this near-hand side he's 4 or 5 yards behind play. The ball's played through. Chris Henry was in an offside position, and as he's chased the ball, but the linesman is nowhere near the play that he needs to be at. He couldn't see that was offside. He's 5 yards behind.
I don't think we want Natalie Clark to tune in, tune out again, because apparently when Natalie Clark just tuned in, Corby got a penalty. So I'm not sure that's exactly what Slough fans will want. So Natalie Clark.
Burn on the far hand side for Corby, picks the ball up. He's up against Henry and Martin. Plays the ball in to Milnes, gets the ball back, and he just plays that ball over the top and out of the ground, and slightly high and wide. And poor effort there.
So we played coming up towards 8 minutes of the second half. It remains Slough 1, Corby 1. Slough going ahead after 11 minutes. A wonderful volley.
No, we keep changing it.
It's 11 minutes. It was 11 minutes.
28 minutes, you said earlier.
Sorry, no, 28 minutes was the double-footed tackle with the injury, the bookings, all that sort of thing.
Should really make notes, shouldn't we? That might be...
It might be novel, but yeah, a rather interesting tackle. I'd like to see the video of that. I'd love to see the video of Ed Smith's wonderful volley goal. I think every Slough fan would, and also the rather naughty tackle by Jake Parsons.
As the ball's flicked forwards, and Rhys York does well to head that one back to Luke Williams.
But as I say, I think the most significant talking point was the penalty, or was it a penalty?
The Slough fans did seem to think that the handball in the box for when Slough were attacking in that first half could have been a penalty. They're not saying it's definite, but it could have been a penalty. Jake Parsons plays the ball forwards. It's a little bit too far for Ed Smith to chase, and Walker comes to the edge of his box and picks that ball up. But yeah, so maybe a penalty for Slough should have been, and then obviously the Corby
debatable one for Corby. But I think Corby had I think probably 1-1 at half time was a fair reflection of the game, if I'm honest, because I think Slough had perhaps dominated or certainly were perhaps slightly edging the first 15-20 minutes, certainly when they scored, and then they sat off a little bit, and Corby
plays a lovely ball out to Carvalho there on the far hand side. Carvalho up against Ryan Parsons, and Rhys York has had to come over and clear that one up. But Byrne seemed trying to stamp his mark on this game.
There seems to be about 4 or 5 real hardcore Steelmen away to our left-hand side in that kind of cover scan. They're all looking a bit cold.
As the ball's played in, and and Goma has a great chance there. And this time Anton's shot is blocked by Scott Harris. But the ball comes out to Anton. He gets the ball into the box. It's a high ball, and Goma wins a flick on. Out to Taylor on the far-hand side.
Slough under all sorts of pressure here. They can't clear their lines.
Header, and it's cleared off the save by Williams on the line, and Slough put the ball out.
Slough at 6s and 7s. Corby asking all sorts of questions at the moment. It's they're certainly putting Slough under a lot of pressure here, and this is what you'd expect of a good team like Corby.
Morley to Carvalho, back to Morley, but it's just over hit for him. But it all came from nothing really. It was just a long ball in that Slough didn't deal with properly, and 2 good chances there for Corby. The first one, it fell to Ngoma. He just couldn't make contact with it. And then the second one was the header by Taylor that Williams at full strength saves off the line.
Sounds like another good game going on this evening at Histon. It's 3-3, and it sounds like 100-mile-an-hour stuff according to their Twitter. So some interesting games here. This is going to be key for Corby to see how this next half hour or so goes.
Yeah, and just a bit of head tennis there in the middle there. It comes to a throw into the Rebels.
Neither sets of management seem to be warming up any of their substitutes at the moment. We've played about 55 minutes. It remains level, 1 goal all. But substitutes and bench may have an impact on this game.
And then the referee has given a foul against Ngoma on Harris.
Once again, didn't seem to be a lot in that, did it? He seems to have got a little bit fussy. I'm not quite sure. He started off well in the game, the referee. You don't really like to talk about the referee too much. I think his first difficult challenge was that Ryan Parsons 2-footed challenge when he left the ground. He got the ball and he didn't really cause that much danger, but it certainly, you wouldn't have been surprised for it to have been a red for the Slough man.
No, not at all. And the referee's having an indifferent game. I think that
there's no assessor here, so I'm not sure whether he's got that as an excuse.
Maybe he's just having a bad day.
Yeah, perhaps he is, but
it will be a free kick to the Rebels. It's level with our commentary box. It's halfway in between the centre circle and the 18-yard line. Ryan Parsons to take. Puts this one right on the penalty spot. That's a great ball. Well won by Anton, though, for Corby. And it's out to Carvalho. On this and another poor touch. As some Corby fans not too happy with his performance are giving him a bit of abuse. He should have done better with that there.
But I think that ties into what Tommy Wright said at a few of the home games, that the Corby fans perhaps a little bit too quick to get on their players' backs, and it may not always be that helpful for them for those games that they play at Rockingham Road. It's just, some more encouragement maybe.
Poole have scored a second goal. It's 2-0 to Poole at Arsley. And a clearance there by...
Great defending on the right-hand side by Walker, who took it off Ed Smith's foot, clipped it over the... Walker, yeah.
Was this a corner to Slough?
Yeah, Walker.
Was it?
Yeah, Walker flicked it off Ed Smith's toes, flicked it behind, into the marquee next to the bar, and Jake Parsons is going to have a right-footed out-swinging corner from the right-hand side.
Yep, so we're 12 minutes into the second half. It's still Slough 1, Corby 1. As Slough do the hokey-cokey free kick movement. This time it's a good ball played in. Well won, though, by Thomas. Ball's come out to Henry. Henry overhits it, and he just catches Taylor there. And Sean Fraser has just gone in for a tackle. And it's on... I'm trying to see who the player is it's on, but the Corby player is down.
I think it's Chamberlain.
No, Chamberlain's not him. Chamberlain's got yellow boots on. He hasn't even given a free kick.
Oh, it's actually Greg Mills there, and there's a band of about 5 or 6 middle-aged Corby fans.
I'd say there's a band of about 10 of them.
Who's
but he hasn't given a free kick. He's given a throw in.
He's given a throw on, which is the most bizarre decision all day, because Sean Fraser appeared to clatter him, didn't he?
Well, he didn't see it, and neither did his lineman. But mind you, his linesman's missed everything. So, but Byrne plays it back to Morley. Morley cuts inside, back to Ngoma. Ngoma long high ball through. Byrne wins the first header. Hollis wins the next header, but Byrne picks it up immediately. Tackled well by Ben Edwards, but Byrne still with the ball. Plays one of those long crossfield passes, but unfortunately to the invisible man on the far hand side, the Corby player inside.
The referee's assistant down here is getting a lot of flack from the travelling fans. You can understand it, and it's just interesting to see. But there isn't too much that the referee seems to be getting out right there. It seems to be that he's having a bit of a day. But I think, to be fair to him and to be fair to the game, he seems to be having it for both days.
Well, but it's a good tackle, but it's picked up by Mills. Mills running in, gives it to Mills on the far hand side. He cuts inside, shoots, and it's blocked by Luke Williams, and it's going to be a goal kick to Slough, but good effort there by Mills. Great running into the box. So Luke Williams with the ball into his hand. John's just gone to sort out some troublemakers. Not really. Ball's played forward. It's high. And Morley comes over, does well to clear it. The ball's now out to Byrne. Byrne trying to get into this game, stamping his authority. Plays it into Taylor. Taylor tackled by Jake Parsons. Adam Martin plays the ball forwards. And it's out for a throw-in on the far-hand side. And you're right.
Yeah, I'm fine. I've just... Well, we just had a little discussion about the referee.
Ed Smith is down. He looks like he's tweaked a knee. And Super Kev will be coming on to treat that one.
Yeah,
when you were talking about the near side assistant referee here, who's maybe having not one of his best games, when the Corby got the penalty, the referee looked over, and whether he got a signal from his assistant referee to say, because when he blew the whistle, he didn't immediately point for a penalty, did he? So I'm just wondering if he looked over to his assistant, who said, yeah, it was a foul and whatever. But
they don't seem to be working as a harmonious team today. Ed Smith's still down getting treatment on his left leg, and I hope it's not his hamstring again. He's had a problem, particularly in the cold, but he's a little bit injury prone. Both teams over on the far side congregating around their dugouts, just getting getting some fluids on and getting a few words of advice. I think perhaps this injury break might help Slough slightly, because they are under the cosh here early in the second half. We've played 60 minutes here at Holloways Park. It is Slough Town 1, Corby Town 1.
He's up on his feet. He's walking off, so just a little nick there when he went down. But
and meanwhile, Greg Mills is just in the ear of Paul Forrester, asking him. I think he's probably still talking about that very heavy challenge 5 minutes ago, where it seemed that Sean Fraser didn't get an awful lot of the ball and took quite a lot of Greg Mills.
Well, he must have taken something of the ball, because it ended up being a throw into Corby. So
good evening also to a young Keith Baker, who's Neil's father. I'll say hello to your big son later. As a ball's hooked forward to Slough to chase forward, but it's Morley doing well, playing again a long diagonal raking ball, but lacking direction. It's out for a throw and down in the far left corner for Slough. And again, there's a few Slough substitutes, a couple of Soots. Corby now just going through some stretching exercises. Is that the manager himself? It looks like it might be on the far side. Wright,
really?
Who's returning from a 3-game suspension for getting a sending off a few weeks ago. He's served his 3-game suspension and now he's back in the game.
And the referee's blown for a foul there from Byrne, with a little push in the back.
The game's just lacking a flow at the moment. It's not been helped by the officials. What has been a good game is just at danger of perhaps boiling over and perhaps just getting a bit bitty, a bit niggly.
I think that Corby maybe have changed their formation a bit. They now seem to be playing more of a 4-2-1-3 formation as the ball's played forward. Adam Martin goes up, but Byrne clears it well, and Slough needs to make sure they get to this. Hollis does well, flicks the ball over. Henry on the far side, it's too much for him. Be out for a throw on the far side, which Keller and Thomas will take for Corby.
Yeah, so Corby's still doing very well in this league. They've had some great run of form since I think it was defeat in kind of December time. They have really, really strong performance. They put a great run together. They've made a few changes. Obviously, lost the key figure of Malone, lost the figure of Appleby, and now recently Spencer Weir-Daly's out in the Caribbean, not spelling himself.
And Mills has done well. He's robbed Fraser here. He's running down the left-hand side, cuts inside. He's opened up. He shoots, and unfortunately, the only person that's going to worry is the poor old steward who's got to go and get the ball, because that one is out the ground. But good play by Milnes. Did well to win the ball, cut inside, and maybe just saw that glory moment a little bit too much, and chose the wrong decision there. But again,
Corby asking questions. Corby asking questions of Slough in the early stages of this second half here at Holloways Park. Probing more questions and asking quite a lot as they're pushing players forward. They've been forced into a few changes with the injury of Claudio Hoban early on, which has forced Milnes further up the pitch. He's now playing in that little hole position just off Chamberlain, but Corby seemed to have adapted quite well initially to the conditions and Slough pressure, and they're now playing a nice advanced and once again bombing forward.
Yeah, Chamberlain with the ball. He's cutting inside. He's looking for an option. It gives it to Taylor. Taylor goes past one, but loses out to Ben Edwards, and Ben Edwards does well, but good tackle again by Byrne to win the ball back, but Slough get it back this time. Edwards again. He's crowded out by 2 players from Corby, and they win the ball back. Morley, the left back, time to play the ball forward. Milnes again, the number 6 in this game, getting a lot forwards. He's having an influence in this second half, but the ball's won by Slough, and Guy Hollis clears up the line, thrown for the Steelmen right in front of our press box and the main stand, which Ngoma runs across to get the ball. And he's going to leave it to Morley to take. No substitutions in the second half.
No, the game's just gone just ever so slightly flat. Corby's still asking questions of Slough. There isn't any real clear chances. I can see Tommy Wright on the far side still just...
Greg Mills does well. He's turned Fraser. He's down the left-hand side. He's gone past Fraser. Got to the byline. He's looking to get the cross in. Plays it in low, and Chamberlain blasts it straight. I think it was at Jake Parsons, and the ball
I think it hit Hollis from very close period.
And Ed Smith is up against Ngoma. And Ed does well to win a throw-in for the Rebels just on the near-hand side right by us.
Slough will look to alleviate the pressure. They've been under the cosh in this second half. Corby, as you'd expect, having a good spell. One of the Corby fans dashing quickly to get the ball back into play as it's almost become a little bit of a competition locally. He's throwing the ball onto the pitch. Slough in absolutely no hurry to...
I think that Slough maybe need to get Chris Henry into the game a little bit more. He played very well against Cirencester. He's not had a fantastic night tonight, but he's
he's
up against Thomas, who's played well against him.
When he's been involved, and certainly for the first 15-20 minutes, he looked to have the measure of Thomas, but since then, I think Thomas has become wise to him and has been doing quite well, but now there's an opportunity.
Yep, and it's Henry up against Thomas. Thomas wins the battle at the moment. He's in the corner, and he's actually hit the corner flag, and Henry comes away with the ball. He's on the byline. He gets caught by... and I don't get it, but Thomas has tackled Henry.
The referee's assistant said it's a handball. I think he said that as he was on the ground, Taylor handballed it.
The referee pointed as it was a free kick to...
Yeah, but
Corby.
There was a flag from the referee's assistant who was 60 yards away. The referee was 20 yards away.
As it is, it will be a free kick to Slough. It's almost in the far right-hand side corner flag. It's about 2 or 3 yards away from that. So Slough will have it. Jake Parsons will do it. Plays it to the... That's a terrible one.
Second in a row.
Can't beat the man at the near post, and it's headed out by Taylor. It's gone all the way to the home dugout, and that is a terrible waste of a free kick by Slough. And we are 21 minutes into the second half. There will be a little bit of time added on for the injury to Ed Smith, but it is currently Slough Town 1, Corby Town 1, and as it stands, Poole Town will be going back to the top of the table with 3 games in hand. So Corby will be trying to get back into this game to get a winner.
Yeah, it's a big 3 points for them this evening as Guy Hollis fires a long throw in towards the near post, well away by Anton again. He's driven more and more into the game, and Guy Hollis seems to come in with a high foot there, and
but
it's not the same bloke.
The Corby fans
think it's the same bloke, but they're confusing Guy Hollis and Fraser.
Chamberlain's gone down. It was a high foot, and he
kind of kneed him, didn't he? He jumped kind of karate style, but his foot wasn't outstretched. It was kind of almost a knee, and it looked to go to the kind of chest area of Chamberlain.
The way this referee's going, I wouldn't be surprised if he sent him off. He doesn't know what he's doing.
No, it's
just a yellow card.
He's cautioning him in the 67th minute, and now I'll take over the commentary, if that's all right.
I don't mind. You can do what you like.
Adrian Stroppy now. As the scorers you joining us late on, it's
There's a substitution on the far hand side. Sorry, John.
No, you crack on with the sub.
Interrupt there. It's going to be number 9 Chamberlain coming off,
and it is Tommy Wright bringing himself
on. Is the player manager Tommy Wright?
He's getting a big boo.
Somebody, I presume it's the Slough fans.
I think it may have been because possibly because of his post-match interview where he
after
wasn't
the first game where we beat them 2-1,
where Slough won 2-1. He wasn't overly generous, but Tommy Wright taking the responsibility on his own shoulders.
He's going up front. Is he a striker?
Yes, he is a striker. He's a very good striker. He used to play at a very good level, and he immediately flicks the ball on, but it's headed away by Slough. Slough just struggling to clear their lines, and on this near side, it's tried to be cleared by Reshort, but we're still stuck back in there, and it's going to be Corby slashing a ball across deep into the box. It's well controlled on that far side. Corby asking questions of Slough all the time here as the ball's driven towards the edge of the box. It's to the substitute Byrne, and it's deflected, and it's gone wide as it ricocheted off Ryan Parsons.
Jake Parsons it hit.
Oh, it hit Parsons.
Somebody Parsons.
Down on the left-hand side. You get on with summarising. And and it's going to be a corner to Corby, far side, and it's going to be that man on the left-back position, Morley, to take an in-swinging. Plenty of tall players forward now for Corby. Anton forward and Goma forward. Plenty of movement in and around the box. It's helped away, but it's going to go back to Morley. Morley now battling for it with Scott Harris on that far side. Scott Harris now going to put boot to ball and drives it forward into an area of emptiness just on the halfway line. And across is coming Captain Taylor to deal with the ball. On the near side now is Carvalho, who seems to be playing more down the left-hand side now. And in the middle of the midfield is Byrne. Byrne trying to run around a couple of players. Just Adam Martin just body checks him, but he keeps control of the ball. Passes it out right further to Milnes, who's found some space out on the hugging the right touchline. He's going to look to get a cross in. He's up against Henry. He cuts inside well. Right edge of the box, right-footed out, swinging ball. It's driven away and it's fired inches wide there by Corby. That was a great chance, and I think it was possibly even Wright there who slashed at that one.
Yeah, just a latest score for you. It's Histon 4, Chesham 4, and that's with roughly about 20 minutes to go in that game. Also, Poole are still 2-0 up. That game will run a little bit late. There has been a 7-minute delay for a substitution for an injured player, so that game will finish roughly about the same time as this one.
Yeah, there's plenty of battling going on out there, and the ball's being driven down the left towards Mills. Infield, and now it's picked up by Milnes. Milnes trying to run at Slough, but Jake Parsons doing his best defensive work that he can. Slough struggling to get out their own half for the little moment, and Anton heads the ball forward. It's flicked on its way by Byrne in the middle of the park, but Slough have retrieved it, but they're just not holding up possession, Ade.
No, they're not getting the possession in the right place and playing the right kind of balls. They're panicking, which is what they did in that horrible 8-game run where they couldn't score. Every time they got the ball, they panicked.
But they just need to stop playing direct and long balls. They need to perhaps try and keep it a little bit shorter to feet, because the Corby centre-back pairing are really coming strong into this game. There's a nice little trick in midfield, but Adam Martin battles hard and well. Some of the local fans don't like it particularly, but it's back with Morley. Left-back position, 10 yards inside his own half. Clips the ball forward in the direction of right. Well wet by Hollis. Another lofted ball by Ngoma. Finds Fraser under a little bit of pressure there down the left hand side from Mills, but it's a lot of battling going on. It's gone a little bit messy again, hasn't it?
Yeah, Slough needs to get to win the ball where they win in it now with Ryan Parsons, and that's a better ball to Chris Henry. He's got space to run at the defence. Anton's one coming over.
He gets it picked up. Thomas does well once again, but it's not out of danger yet, and it's back towards Henry. And Walker's come into this game, had a really strong second half. There's going to be a substitute for Slough. Off coming Henry, oncoming.
He's not coming on yet because the ball's back in play.
But it looks like Henry's coming off and Dan Reid's going to be coming on, which is an interesting change in formation potentially.
As Milnes is playing a lot further up, he's just slips over there as the ball came through to him. And
so are Slough going to match them up in the middle and then play three up as ball's back with Williams in the left hand box. Tommy Wright just keeping him honest, just trying to get him on the way. Hope you're enjoying the commentary. Please do contact us at MyFC Rebels Radio as we are in the final 20 minutes of this game. It remains Slough 1, Corby 1, all goals in the first half. Corby equalising with a 47th minute penalty, and the ball's spending a lot of time bouncing around in midfield at the moment. Ed Smith just beating Ngoma to it, but Morley's going to clear the ball long, but it's now ricocheted and defended well by Slough, who are repelling the ball well. Jake Parsons dancing around in the halfway line, but overruns it slightly. He loses it out. It's now Tommy Wright in the middle of the park, just tries to lay it off to Anton. Anton hooks the ball out wide. Guy Hollis, important header there to cut out the ball, but Slough still not getting it clear. As
Martin's fouled Byrne there.
Adam Martin just fouled Byrne. There's a little bit of pushing and shoving going on, and
the linesman's like, we will now see the substitution that you predicted. It will be Chris Henry coming off, and it will be Dan Reid, who
isn't a natural left winger.
No, he's not, but he's actually made it to a game because he broke down on Saturday on the way to the game.
Yeah, after just
our
having
supporters coach strode past him and waved. We didn't really. We went back to see if he was okay, see if we could anything to do. But
apparently Histon had commenting that it's definitely not going to finish up 4-4, so that's probably the kiss of death on that. But in this game here at Holloways Park, we have about 18 minutes. Adam Martin just getting a talking to from referee Paul Forrester, but Corby are going to have an attacking free kick. 10 yards, 15 yards inside the Slough half, left of centre. It's going to be not a direct shot, but it's going to be curled in towards the far post. It is. Morley puts it up there, sets it up, but it's easily won by the Slough defenders. They're going to have an opportunity to try and clear again as Reshawk runs all the way across, smashes it long, left-footed forward, and it's into no man's land in the middle of the.
He's got low space. Thomas does well.
Thomas does well. Gambles does a good little trick there and is now driving over to the halfway line. Ed Smith tries to put him down, and then Walker, overexcited, smashes a long ball forward for Wright to chase. Wright cuts back well. Right in the box, blocked by Hollis, blocked by York, and it's good there. It looked to ricochet there up into Ryan Parsons' midriff. Some appeals there from Corby players down the left hand end, but it's getting a little bit more frantic. It just needs a little spark here, doesn't it, to come back into life. Thomas
did well there for Corby. Smith gained up, but he must have been about 10 yards away from him when it started. Thomas just seemed to lack a little bit of pace, but he won the ball and he held off the tackle from Smith and did well, because if he'd have lost that, Smith would have been one-on-one with the goalkeeper.
Interesting change that Scott Harris seems to have gone back into midfield for Slough from playing up front. It's now Smith and Reid up front as Reshawk takes a ride on Tommy Wright. Tommy Wright stayed down, and then eventually
takes a ride on Tommy Wright was I think more. That was the polite way of saying it.
He mounted him. Is that what we're saying? He did it, but the end result is a decent position for a free kick. Right hand edge of the box, 5 or 6 yards out of it. Corby are going to have an in-swinging corner. This is going to be a great idea to whip it in towards that far post, just away from Williams, into that area of uncertainty. Can one of the Corby players get something on it and give their side the lead?
Literally everyone up, haven't they? Corby, they've just got the one man back marking. It's Thomas marking Smith, and then the only one is Taylor.
Morley whipping the ball in, dangerous, left-footed. He's overhit it. It's over through the back. It was headed by Wright, but I think it had already gone out at that stage.
But it was a good ball in. Good idea there for Corby there. Morley did that quite well, and Wright was unmarked at the back. Just couldn't keep the header in play.
And he's waving his arms about, trying to gee his troops along as Williams looks in the Slough go to almost deliberately missed that ball, not kind of on the right wavelength to get it. Slough just probably happy to run the clock down a little bit here. Corby fans trying to urge their side on as we go into the final 15 minutes.
Doing the same for the Rebels. He's in the middle there.
Reshaw clapping his hands, asking for some of Nana Jean's cake. Hope you're enjoying the commentary wherever you are.
Nana Jean?
Nana
Lynn.
Nana Lynn, sorry.
That's why you don't get no cake.
I had some cake actually on Saturday.
Did you?
And yeah, afterwards. I met her afterwards when I was having a chat with her grandson. As Dan Reed gets involved in the pitch, but it's hooked away by Ngoma. Corby still battling hard here as Adam Martin trying to lever the ball out, and Milnes is quick to pick the ball up, put it into the arms of Fraser, and Guy Hollis will come along, take a long throw just on this near side on the halfway line. Captain Ben
Scott Harris has gone up now, so maybe he's playing in the hole.
Yeah, it seems to be quite a fluid formation at the moment. Slough playing a little bit narrow as Hollis fires the ball down the line, flicked on by Reed, who's fouled Morley. Didn't look like there was much contact in it. Perhaps he used his arm to get some separation before the ball came in. Walker in a hurry to get on with things here.
He went to try to, but he couldn't pick the ball up. He's got pink
shin pads.
Pink shin pad. I couldn't even say it. Looks really great under those thin socks that they've got on.
Be interesting to see what Corby are going to do once he faces his suspension for his sending off on Saturday.
Unless we put someone else in goal.
Well, hopefully they'll put someone else in goal. When whether Donking or the youngster will get an opportunity.
Play like rush football and just have a.
Well, that's a different way. I'm not sure it'd work out, but Williams needs to be quick off his line. He is, as the high balls play through, and he just nips it off right, number 16. So he does a sidewinder kick, sends it in the direction of Scott Harris. Scott Harris underneath it, flicks the ball on. There may be more goals in this game. We're not quite sure. There's another goal at Histon. It's for Nick Freeman. I believe that might be Histon 5, Chesham 4 in the game of the evening down at Histon. What a game that would be. He's
got him with his foot up there.
There's some head burn. And Ed Smith's through now. 1-on-1. He's going to have an opportunity. He smashes a volley, but it's well held by diving to his right-hand side. It was
too close.
Too close to Walker. He was shooting from 25, 30 yards. He didn't get enough elevation on it, but that was the best chance that I think Slough had in this second half.
Yep, and makes the Slough fans come awake, and they make a little bit of noise there. But Slough haven't done a lot in this second half. Reshort with a good header there, but it's pummeled back and then it's booted high up in the air by Ryan Parsons.
Yeah, on the halfway
Anton
line.
All over. That's got
Dan Reed flicks the ball on, and it's a free kick against Anton, who was all over the back of Ed Smith. You can just see how cold it is getting out there. You can see Ed Smith
that was actually some half-decent refereeing there by the referee, because he tried to play the advantage. There didn't come an advantage, and he pulled it back for a free kick. So he does actually know what he's doing. But
apparently some people are in bed painting their nails. I'm not sure that refers to the male listeners out there.
Was that Keith Baker, the manager's son?
Yeah, I think that was Keith Baker. He's not Keith at the weekends. As Ryan Parsons left-footed free kick from the centre circle on towards the far. There's bodies falling all over the edge of the box, but it's fallen to Jake Parsons, right-hand side of the Corby halfway down it. He's driving towards the byline. He crosses it in near post. Ed Smith gets a heavy touch. He's going to try and flick it in. He controls it well. He's strong. He passes it to Jake Parsons, driving into the box. He's gone round a play. He's flipped it across across the 6-yard box, but no one could get a shot on it, and it's away now. Reshaw, still forward from the back, is there. He blasts it straight off the, I think, the gentleman's area there of Thomas, who's taking a breather and 1 foot. He's going to count them as the referee does his laces up for the 17th time. But
I think that Thomas is maybe glad that the referee's doing his laces up there, because that's going to be a sore one for him.
That was a great interplay down the right side. A lovely 1-2 between Ed Smith and Jake Parsons. Drove in towards the near post, flicked a ball literally 2 or 3 yards out. We wait the in-swinging corner from the far side. It's whipped towards the far post. Plenty of height there. Reshaw heads it back on. It's on the penalty spot. Slough trying to defend it. Shot by Adam Martin. Further play there on this side by Dan Reed. Back to the corner taker Jake Parsons. Cuts inside, doing plenty of dances. He's going to cross it left-footed. Headed away at the near post. Slough having their best spell of the second half here. They're boxing them in. Guy Hollis going to run over and take a long throw.
They've just got to make this possession count as Guy Hollis goes over. Need to get an effort on target. Walker hasn't had a lot to do this second half.
Beautiful crescent moon up there as well.
Apparently there's a beautiful crescent moon up there as well.
Guy Hollis leaning back on the wall next to the Berg fan on the far side, fires in a long throw towards the edge of the box. It's flicked on, it's bouncing around, it's a snapshot, and it's just wide. A snapshot by Reshaw. It must have deflected off someone. The referee's assistant is given a goal kick or an offside. Oh, it's an offside. I'm not sure quite how it could be an offside, because there seem to be players back on the line.
He's doing that moving.
He's doing the okey cokey.
Where he does the wavy bit and saying he
tensions are getting frayed here, but it's fascinating. We've got just over 10 minutes left of an enthralling game here at Holloways Park. There may not have been the goals that have been at Histon. Another substitution happening. Corby using their final third option.
It's Connor Kennedy coming on, number 12.
And it's going to be Thomas Gentleman area coming off.
Yep, and Callan Thomas is coming off. So
Kennedy on. Thomas has had a really good game.
I think maybe that they can afford to take him off with the fact that Slough haven't got Henry on the pitch no more. So Slough haven't got a real natural left-sided attacker, and maybe Thomas took that blow a little bit too much. I would just wonder if they've got a female physio that he goes to.
Yeah, I'm not sure. It looks like... No, I haven't seen that. But we go into the final 10 minutes here. It remains Slough 1, Corby 1. A really interesting game. Corby have probably had more of the possession and dominance, but they haven't really had any very clear chances in this second half. It's contentious. There's still maybe the talking point afterwards. And there's Dan Reid is a yard offside.
He's miles offside,
but running forward.
Ben
Edwards trying to get forward. It's in the box. And
box on the line.
And there was all sorts of communication breakdowns there in the back, but in the end, Walker managed to fire it clear right at the foot of Dan Reid, and now Corby are on the attack with Byrne trying to play it forward, tries a long shot, held by Williams.
I mean, Dan Reid was a yard or two offside by an absolute mile there, and the lino on this near side is having an absolute shocker. He was nowhere near that.
And I don't condone the language that some of these Corby fans are using towards the referee's assistant, but it was a poor decision. And Slough are applying a little bit of pressure. They're playing a bit higher up the pitch. They've got a bit more confidence in this last 2 or 3 minutes, but they are playing on the edges. Tommy Wright now driving down the left-hand side, pursued by Fraser. He's trying to drive in towards the edge of the box. He cuts back, using his strength well. He lets the ball run there on the far side. Mills just stepping on the ball. He's got 2 Slough players around him, chips it towards the far post. Ryan Parsons heads it away strongly to Jake Parsons midway inside his own half, and Slough are going to be able to clear the ball up the line, and it's a long ball in the direction of Dan Reid. It's going to run out of pace though, and it's all frantic, isn't it, Ade?
Oh, is that? Hold on, the lino is actually given a throw in the correct way. Well done, mate. Well done. Terrible linesman.
Can you be a bit more neutral? We've got to be neutral for the
it should have been offside.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know what I mean? Slough got a chance there, which they shouldn't have had, because the Slough play was easily 2 yards offside and the linesman didn't give it. How can I not be more biased than that?
Yeah, I know. As Slough try and clear the ball forward, but it's once again Byrne who's got one of those man bun things going on, hasn't he? I didn't notice that in the first half. As Mills drives down the left-hand side up against Fraser, he's leaving in for Dad. He's cutting inside. Mills driving towards the edge of the box. Is he going to pull the trigger? No, he's laid it off to the right-hand side, and it's Taylor over there. Carvalho, right-hand side of the box, cuts back, tries to flick the ball back, but well cut out there by Scott Harris. I think is it Parsons over there?
Ben Edwards, that was.
Oh, is it Ben Edwards? Doing a decent shift. Tommy Wright on the ball, far left-hand corner as we look at it. Playing down the Slough right, cuts the ball back to Carvalho. Carvalho trying to do a few tricks, turns away from his marker well, driving towards the edge of the box. Slightly falls over, and he left quite a lot. He left quite a lot on Ryan Parsons, and Ryan Parsons is rolling around. Corby is still playing. It's a shot, and it's a goal for Corby on the far side.
It's Carvalho.
Jake Parsons is absolutely furious, and Jake Parsons has been sent off. He's absolutely furious.
Disgraceful refereeing. That was a leg-breaking tackle. That was.
I don't know I don't know how much it was for Ade. I mean, he's still down on the floor. There's another booking now. I believe that's for Adam Martin, but Jake Parsons has been sent off.
Absolute disgraceful referee. Absolute.
Jake Parsons has been sent off in the 82nd minute. Carvalho has scored and given Corby the lead that will probably keep them at the top of the Southern Division this league. But Slough are down to 10 men.
Look, Ryan Parsons is chasing after the referee, showing his leg. He's showing at him. And the referee is he's totally lost this game.
That was a very, very strong challenge. I know Ade's got some very strong, passionate feelings on it, but it was...
No, but it was exactly like the Ryan Parsons tackle in that first half, which we said he could have got a red for. It was exactly the same. He didn't even give a free kick. He played on, and while Ryan Parsons is on the floor, Carvalho is the man he's marking, is the man that puts the ball in the back of the net.
Yeah, so I definitely don't think that Paul Forrester's going to be on the Christmas card list for Slough. They're trying to get back into this game as Scott Harris trying to battle hard down to that corner. I think the referee is not going to be very popular at the end of the game, and Adam Martin's still infuriated by that decision. It seemed a very odd one. So controversy once again involved in both of the Corby Town. Not sounding bitter, but in both goals so far.
He can see it's a bad tag. Whether he sends it low off or gives a yellow card, he should have stopped the game. It was a foul. He could clearly see it was a foul.
The ball just was overrun. Ryan Parsons cleared it, and then an awful lot was left on it. Was it Taylor? I
No,
believe?
it was Carvalho.
Oh, it was Carvalho.
Carvalho. He was the man that scored because the man marking him was on the floor injured, rolling around.
And it's 6-4 now. Slough looking for a goal, and that's clearly offside. And the linesman this time kept his flag down, although I think he was quite tempted. It still remains Arlesey 0, Poole 2. So Poole will still remain hot on the heels of Corby if things finish as they are. But Slough will try and make a difference as we have 5 minutes to go here. Nerve-biting time for the Steelmen as they're trying to get Walker to hurry up and take the kit. There's plenty of interested
And of course,
talking.
Slough down to 10 men now, and then a free kick won by Corby for a nothing challenge again. And
it'll be interesting to see what people's perception is after this. And the referee's assistant just signalling that the Slough's final third substitution going to be made. And on the far side, I believe it looks like George Short coming on. And off comes Ben Edwards, who's run a little bit out of gas. He hasn't played a lot of football recently.
Is that another goal at Histon?
Yeah, I think it's 6-4 now. 6-4 to Histon in that.
Apparently, it's from 40 yards out with the keeper out of his goal. He's hit it with the outside of his foot into the back of the net. So I don't know if they do video highlights at that game, but that'll be a goal to watch for sure.
Yeah, but if you're joining us late here, controversy once again in the 82nd minute. It's going to be the fact that Carvalho appeared to potentially have fouled Ryan Parsons, but he got away with it and then got up while Parsons was on the deck injured and put away very accomplishingly. He clipped the ball and put it right into the corner past Williams. No chance. It was really composed play there by Corby, and they at the moment are leading 2-1 in the dying stages. And Ed Smith just getting stuck on. Sorry, Carvalho. Yeah. As
It's not the 10th time he's just told us who the goal scorer was.
as one of the Corby fans just looks to see who finished that well, but
No, he's telling us it was number 11 in case we didn't see it.
okay, as Ryan Parsons heads the ball back to Williams. Williams scrambles across, keeps it in, and there's suddenly a bit of urgency in Slough's play. Can they get an equalising goal here deep late in this game at Holloways Park? This could be massive for the title at the end of the season as George Short gets his first touch of the ball but just heads it up in the way. Corby have changed a little bit. They're playing a little bit deeper now, and head tennis continues. The quality lacking in the game, and Goma comes out strong. George Short heads it back. It's headed back in and around, and now it's going to be that goal scorer Carvalho to try and clear it. George Short can't keep it in on the far side, and it is out for a Corby throw-in deep inside their own half.
They're not in a hurry to take it, and Slough are getting the ball back. It's Connor Kennedy on the far side to take the throw-in as Slough urging the Corby players to get this ball back into play so they can try and get back into the game. But
we're in the dying stages. Hopefully you've enjoyed what's been an enthralling and if it's sometimes controversial.
It's 6-5 at Histon, goal to Chesham, so it's 6-5. I don't know how long they've got to play, but if there's a video highlights, I want to see it.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal game there. As once again a long ball played forward to try and put Corby under pressure here, and then a strong tackle there, and George Short plays the ball forward. It's too high and too long. It will fall through to Walker, and Dan Reid's going to shut down Walker to make him to kind of keep him honest, and he's stood well out of the way of him as Walker holds the ball. It's now been for 6 or 7 seconds. He's going to try and get rid of it now. He's clipped it up deep towards Tommy Wright, the player manager, leaning into Rhys Short, wins the ball well, and then George Short battling in there, but it's headed up and around as a few fans start to make their way out. And a slightly high foot there from Byrne in the middle of the park.
The referee hasn't even seen that. Byrne's gone in. It's kind of like a karate kick. He was going for the ball, but it's a dangerous play. Yeah,
Kennedy now attacking down the right hand side, combines well with Carvalho. Corby playing the ball in the right areas as a high ball through from Anton. Tests nobody. Williams underneath it, and now Slough gambling forward. Neil Baker just waving his arms around, trying to G up the team for one final last push as we go into the 89th minute here. Flicked on by Ed Smith. Dan Reid trying to get on top of it, but Morley's going to come away with the ball, clip it down the line. Held up well by Taylor. Taylor just slowing things down, plays it into the feet of Captain Wright, who just put a bit of a hand there on.
He's not the captain, he's the manager.
Manager. He just put a hand through on Guy Hollis there, didn't he? As he did now.
Yeah, and Mills chasing Fraser down, but it's out for a Slough goal kick, and some of the Slough fans are leaving. Obviously not believing that Slough can get this late equaliser.
Full time, Histon 6, Chesham 5. What an unbelievable game.
Thank God we're not tweeting on that. You'd be by the time you tweet it, you've had to tweet another goal.
It's unbelievable. As the ball's back with Walker to our right hand side, Corby in the final minute here at Holloways Park. A valuable 2-1 victory looks to be heading their way unless Slough can conjure something from the depths of this game. They don't seem to have had favourable refereeing decisions. It's not being a Jose Mourinho, but there's 2 or 3 controversial decisions that have very much gone against them. But Corby have worked hard, and they've been awarded a free kick now deep in the Slough half down the left hand side, and Sean Fraser just picking up the ball to show the fact that Poole Forrester that he feels that the ball was won there.
I don't think it's just. I mean, Slough will obviously complain about the fact that 2 refereeing decisions have led to goals, but the referee and his assistant, especially the one on this near side, absolutely dreadful decisions against both teams, which are just unbelievable. And the only person that's coming out of any credit of the officials is the bloke on the far hand side who's done his job properly. Yeah,
it's disappointing when you have to talk about the referees. Corby have looked decent, but they haven't really created that many chances, bar the very, very game influencing penalty that was awarded on the stroke of half time, which they maximised when it was scored and converted by Greg Mills.
Burn with the ball at the moment, just on the edge of there. Again, he puts Carvalho in, plays a long cross in, but
it's straight behind for a goal kick. Slough really in the last chance saloon as we're in the 91st minute here. Williams tries to fire the ball out right towards the Slough dugout. It's overhit. Seemed to go down there, and there seemed to be all sorts going on there. And Scott Harris is going to get sent off. No, I think he might get sent off here.
He is. He's
Scott Harris as well. Scott Harris for an elbow, I believe. And Slough are down to 9. And the female physios come on, and Scott Harris can't believe it. He's not leaving the pitch. He's not leaving the pitch at all. He might. He will be doing. He will be doing. Right. No, he will be doing well to leave the pitch. I think he's. No, I think Scott Harris is very upset, and there's a number of Slough players just trying to calm him down, just trying to walk him off.
And even Trent
Phillips has just come off the side.
And then Ryan Parsons has just been kicked.
There's a bit of a melee. Why is he being kicked?
Someone's just kicked out at him.
The referee may have seen that. I'm not quite sure, but
I don't think the referee could see anything.
There's a bit of pushing and shoving going. And Tommy Wright pushing at his own player Carvalho, who Carvalho has been involved in 2 very controversial incidents. But in the 47th minute of this second half, Scott Harris becomes the second rebel to be sent off in this game. Slough down to 9. The referee doesn't seem to be taking any further action. There's going to be a fair amount of video evidence, seeing that it was right under the camera tower there. So watch the extended highlights.
I can't see what you can complain about. Jake Parsons has obviously got sent off for something he said for the fact that
I think he put a hand on the referee as well. I think he went up to him and put a hand on, which you can't do. But the end result is that Corby have a 2-man advantage. They're leading 2-1 in the dying stages of this game. This isn't the way that the Rebels would have wanted it to go, having taken the lead in the 11th minute and been almost reaching the half-hour mark. But Corby, to their credit, have performed well. They've battled hard. They've stuck to their game plan, and they're playing a very direct brand of football.
He's playing the final whistle, and that's it.
And he's played not an awful lot, and he's hiding down the left-hand end. A few Corby fans to
the Slough players are going across. I think it's Reece York over there, but he's got to be careful because if he says something, we'll get another card.
Yeah, so the referee's just going over there. The Slough players are shaking their hands. They're shaking hands.
One of them is. No one else is.
And it seems to be relatively good-natured. Now there's
no trouble between the players.
No, the players seem to be getting on okay, and the referee is now getting approached. The Corby fans are absolutely jubilant. The Corby players are absolutely jubilant. Congratulations to Corby on their 2-1 victory, which keeps them top of the league at the end of play today. They're going to be very, very happy. But John Underwood's now going over to the referee. Neil Baker's going over to the referee.
The Slough players are walking off, and they're getting a good round of applause from the Rebels fans. They've not disgraced themselves in the way they've played. If anything, they've maybe disgraced themselves with their reactions to some poor refereeing decisions, but Corby are the winners.
And John Underwood's very much making a point, I believe, in a quite a calm manner. He's not shouting or screaming, but he's pointing up at the gantry saying, I think if you have made decisions that are incorrect, as per some other decisions, it's going to be very, very visible on the camera highlights. So Corby now go into a huddle in our left hand side. John Underwood still seems very upset, as does Neil Baker. There's going to be a lot of unhappy, kind of a bitter taste, not against Corby at all in any way, but against, I think, the referee and his control of this game.
No, I mean, although Corby have won the game and they've done 2-1, I think maybe overall the game would have been a draw. And whether you're going to argue about the refereeing decisions has cost Slough 2 goals, that's for maybe the video highlights to show. But I don't think Slough that deserved to lose that game tonight.
I think Corby probably had slightly the better of it. They were quite strong throughout, and it was just a little bit, it was just that they kind of were a bit more converted. As the management team get a good handoff, and I think you're going to just listen to this boo as the referee makes his way off.
Yeah, but that's not good scenes, though, John. I mean, we've been complaining on the forum and stuff about what happened at Banbury, where the referee got attacked at half-time. Yeah, he's had a bad game and he's made some poor decisions, but you can't, be on that side and start doing that. It's not good, and it doesn't show the club in a good light.
No, well, thank you very much for joining us on this cold Tuesday evening. If you're a Corby fan, I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope we've been as impartial as we could. It's still 2-0, as we understand, in extra time down to Poole at Arlesey, so they are going to still remain hot on your heels as finally the Corby players come out of their huddle to our left-hand side. They're going to be coming out, and I'm sure this is a vital 3 points in their push for promotion. They're almost certain for the playoff places, as some of the Slough fans and players look rather dejected as they're there. They just have taken the wind out their sails a little bit. But thank you very much. If you ever care to join us again, please do at MyFC Rebels Radio. We'll be
if you're a Corby fan and you haven't got a game, you can always listen to us just ramble on about rubbish.
We'll be broadcasting live from the Rebels' next away game, which is at Hitchin on Saturday. Well, hopefully the Rebels can go on to put an equally constant, decent performance in, but hopefully this time with a slightly better end result. But thank you very much for your time, and good night.